Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hello. Thank you, Undead Proxy, for the 5 gifted subs starting us off on this live stream today. Can't thank you enough. Memberships are huge. Appreciate it so much. What's up, Nani, Bubba, Streets, the Rad, Fernando? I don't know what you're talking about. Your fave Max texted, but it was very nice to see you in chat. I don't think I've seen you around before. Anisa and Ian, because drama's been so boring these past few days for me, I haven't found anything that I really cared about, right? And then I was perusing the Chud Logic server because I am a parasite and a leech. I found something that interested me. I haven't talked about Ian in a while. I think the last time I talked about Ian was maybe, if I'm just going off of memory right, I might be completely wrong. The last time I talked about Ian was when he had to flog himself to the black community and just flog himself to death and be like, I'll pay reparations to Jinx. It was just complete garbage. That entire video was complete and utter ass. I hated every second of that video. And I'm pretty sure even Leon and the other people I had in the call, I think Smaggle was there. And I'm pretty sure even Nick called it at one point. I don't remember. But that stream made me not want to cover iDubbbz content anymore. The reason why is because iDubbbz is just purely a pathetic man creature. And his wife is just as pathetic as he is. They are perfect for each other. So I want to say hello to everybody. Let's just get it started, all right? It's just ridiculous. You missed the entire podcast arc? Essentially, I did. I really did. I missed the podcast arc of iDubbbz and Anisa. It was terrible. Like, just the worst thing I've ever seen. Because I follow this Twitter account, Beazle, okay? I follow Beazle on Twitter. Now, with Beazle, he clips out all the Patreon good stuff that doesn't make it to the main channel, right? I love Beazle's Twitter account. This guy is the bane of existence for Ian and Anisa. Just complete and utter destruction from this small Twitter account. Are they done? Are they done with the podcast? Nope. They, I believe, uploaded 2 days ago. So they're still going. They're still going. Okay? They're still going on this podcast. Now, I know Boblax has covered it a little bit and some other people. But there was this video that got put out about 9 days ago. It's all about iDubbbz currently. And what's a good way for me to catch up on the Anisa iDubbbz train of lol cowdom than to watch an entire video on this? But before we do that, I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. So, Beazle, again, like we shouted out before, if you want to have a good A-log account for Ian and Anisa, follow this guy. This guy is Kino. I send this guy's account to Keem like all the time, or like other people like all the time when there's good iDubbbz shit to talk about. Okay? This clip in particular, I haven't watched it yet. I just saw the title and I stopped like right here. I was like, interesting. Because excuse me. Maximum Damage is their podcast, right? 36K subs and can't break views essentially on the same level as me, which is really sad. Like, really, really sad. I'm not covering the podcast in of itself. I want to cover this video. I want to see how bad the decay has gotten. But this right here, these views are bad. This is a 36K sub channel. They are averaging between 4 to 2K views a video. And they upload, I want to say they upload just like I do. Like where things stop for a bit, they don't upload for a bit, then they go back to uploading. It's just bad. It's so bad. Like this is ass, bro. My VODs make more than this, and I'm a 10K sub channel, and no one cares about me. This is iDubbbz. Dude, this is iDubbbz, one of the legends, bro, and he destroyed himself. I want to see this clip, though. iDubbbz has PTSD from reading comments about Maximum Damage. PTSD is a wild a wild statement to make, okay? Wild. PTSD is on par with, like, what's the word I'm looking for? PTSD is something a war veteran gets after getting bullets flown at them, and it takes out their fellow man. Like, I don't know how you develop BPD from comments, but I'm sure Ian's going to explain this in a way that totally doesn't make me make fun of him.
Is giving an answer to the equation. Reminded me of comment sections, and like I feel like it's a really good reflection of, or a really good example of the types of comforting or answer the equation, which is many times you have read stuff, and I have read stuff online about us, either together or individually, and I think we both know, and the world knows, that ideally you try to avoid that stuff as much as possible.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist. It's like, yeah, you find some stuff, you come across it, it's like it's going to be a problem for you emotionally. And I think when Anisa would experience that in the past.
But my first thing is like, what? It sounds like you're kind of... So this is the thing, right? iDubbbz is saying that he understands, that humanity understands to avoid the negative stuff, right? Problem is that you don't need to say that part out loud, right? You just stop paying attention to it. Or you don't even pay attention to it at all. I don't think I ever really check my comments. I think I've only responded either to, like, comments that were, like, really retarded, and I was like, okay, I have to say something. And I think that's only been a handful of times, like, on my hand, like maybe 5 or 6, maybe, over 2 years of my content creation. And the rest of them have just been like, oh, I heart this comment, funny comment. Like, it sounds like Ian is seeking these out.
There was this desire to say, like, well, just don't look at it. Like, that's the problem.
That's not a desire. It's just a fact of life. If you want to be a public figure and you want to continue doing those things and not let it bog you down, don't pay attention. Don't care. Don't care. Keep uploading what you want. The problem is that you and Anisa care so much. It hurts the both of you.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because
I saw you reply to the Jake Weedle video. Well, yeah, the Mr. Beast derangement syndrome was heavy in there. You have to say something. People were like, oh, Chris, you're so mean to Jake. Yeah, no shit. Jake's a retard.
Because it is true that that's the problem. But once you do it, you now have a different problem.
Yeah, it turns into an I told you so rather than valid advice.
And like I've experienced the exact same thing. I mean, to this day, you know, I have someone else managing like the comment sections and stuff on Maximum Damage.
I have someone else taking care of the comments. You need to have someone moderate. Bro, you pay somebody to do that? Come on. What creator in the world? Okay, I have never heard of this in my life. Watching YouTube, watching these creators, getting to know these creators, I have never in my life heard somebody say that they have somebody else to moderate the comments. I don't think I've ever heard that. I don't even think the biggest YouTubers do that. Like, am I crazy? Has anyone else heard that before? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever heard a larger creator ever do that in their life. Did they pay somebody to do it? Please, somebody explain to me that I'm crazy and I'm just saying, oh, there's nobody. But, like, I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
PTSD, mother F the big three, it's just big me.
So true, Yo-Yo. So true, Yo-Yo Pizza Boy. One of the biggest pussy on YouTube. It's just, bro, like, how? How do you degrade yourself like this? Why would you say this out loud? Like, you're just giving people like myself and others ammunition to just laugh at how pathetic you are. Like, are some comments fucking annoying? Yeah. Duh. Are some people in chat really annoying? Yeah. But you don't pay attention to it. You just let it go. You let it go. You move on with your life. It's just somebody on the internet writing a comment. I don't get this. They paid a family member to go through their comments? Are you kidding me?
I'll sometimes check it out, but like specifically, you know, for unbuzzing and stuff. But like if I happen to come across it accidentally, that could like stink up my whole day.
Yeah.
See, that's your issue. If I come across a bad comment accidentally. Did you hear that? It wasn't just the comment in of itself. It's that he allows this comment to carry on his back for the whole day. The whole day. You know what happened? Here's an example, right? Let me use my example, right? I looked at the Jake Weedle comment and I was like, lol, you people are retarded. Do you want to know what happened after I wrote that? I went to bed. Then I woke up. And then I found other things to cover. That's really it. I don't get this whole carrying that on your back. If it's a legitimate criticism, take it to heart and understand it and grow from it. But it sounds like Ian just allows like the shitty criticism to get to him and it ruins his whole day. How are you this mentally weak?
And stuff, but like if I happen to come across it accidentally, that could like stink up my whole day.
Yeah.
How does that stink up your whole day? I don't get it. That's like a random person, a random homeless guy on the street screamed at you and said, "Hey, asshole!" Is that really going to ruin your whole day? Do you let the random screaming homeless guy get to you like that? Like, you're going to ruin your whole day because of this?
Yeah.
And it's like, it should be easy to just be like, no, let's pretend that I avoided the comment section today.
Yeah.
But, Anisa knows, and many people know that once that happens, like, I'll get over it,
Eventually.
But you just said that it was your whole day. You literally just said it was your whole day. That is too long. You could be like, yeah, that person's an idiot. I'll give you like a 10-minute moment privately to yourself. If you're not publishing on your YouTube channel, 10 minutes is all you get. 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes to be molding about it, and then you let it go. You don't ruin a whole day. Like,
not like I need to be like super comforted or anything. It's
yes, you do. If you need a whole day to get over one shitty comment, you need to be you need to be insulated. You need to have bubble wrap around you, bro.
Out of your face that showed up one.
I'm actually curious what this one is about.
Giant boil on the side of your face that showed up one day.
Yeah. Well, because like there was a time where there was a content creator who was quite big at the time. They're pretty much gone off the internet now, but there was a time where like I was getting messages from this content creator constantly saying, I'm making a hit piece about you. Like, you're the weakness in Ian's armor. And like, here's all the stuff I'm going to say about you. And
none of these people, grade A, under A, rice gum, are not those people. So that just sounds like a random thing. Anisa, why are you reading those? Just ignore it. Like, block that person. Why would you read that? Who cares? Who cares? I get weird ass DMs all the time that are like, and I'm like, what? What? I'm like, okay, close combo. I don't. What? Why would you willingly read that? The second that you read something like that, you're like, oh, this person's an idiot. Turn off. Like, why talk about it on a podcast? You're giving validity to that person. They got to you. They won. You lost. Like, I would kill for Ian and Anisa to start a band. Doesn't matter. Okay. I don't want to get bogged down on the fucking I don't want to get bogged down on all these clips because I can sit here for hours and go over every single clip this Bees account uploaded. Oh no. Is that Anisa? Buffalo Exchange. Oh no. 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 Was Anisa here? No. Was Anisa in Buffalo? Oh no. Oh god, no. Is that please tell me that's a clothing brand. Please tell me that's a clothing brand. And that she didn't come here. Oh no. She's gonna come and beat me up, guys. All because I said I don't trust Creator Clash, and I think it's total bullshit. I don't want Anisa to come over and beat me up. I don't know what she would do. She does that weird thing where she's like, I would yell at you in person, you would cry in person to me. I'd just laugh at you if you started yelling at me. I'd be like, what? Do you see your tattoos? Like, why would I have to take you seriously, like, at all? Why would I have to take you seriously in any aspect? You should make iDubbbz sit in the cuck chair. I would never never bang Anisa Jomha. No. I wouldn't even make iDubbbz sit in the car. I would just leave. If there was like a situation where it was like Anisa was like, oh, I'll fuck you, I'd be like, get away from me. Get away from me. You are a human Sonichu medallion. I do not want to be anywhere near you. Okay? Your drama sessions were tingling with a lolcow that close? No. I doubt they were in Buffalo. They don't leave LA that I'm aware of other than Creator Clash. I don't even know if they travel. They're so broke that they can't do anything. It's a resell change? Oh, thank God. Oh, I got so scared they came here. It'd be really funny. It would be like genuinely funny. But no, this woman terrifies me. In the context that if I get into like her vibe vicinity, I will end up like Ian. Just like a battered down man. Just from being like in the same like vicinity of this woman. I feel like would just corrupt my soul. I don't know how. She used to be moderately attractive, but then the tattoos happened. Yeah, the tattoos definitely happened. They definitely happened. Definitely. The tattoos, like, everything about her just became ugly. And I'm not saying that because I just think Anisa's, like, annoying or I'm trying to be a hater. Like, this woman is ugly to me. Genuinely. Like, I don't find her attractive. And the tattoos really, really, really turn it off. Yeah, she radiates pure depression. I don't know what it is.
Coming for you, bro.
She's coming for me? No, bro. Get her away from me. Get her away! I don't want anything with this woman. Stop it. Yeah, the pixie haircut and all this shit.
Become famous, Chris Brown.
Chat, how would you rate Anisa? Like how Keem rated Pokimane. What would be out of 10? Because I'm seeing best in the world rates 3 out of 10. What would you rate Anisa? Yes, she is a joy vampire. I'm just curious what chat thinks. I'm just very curious what chat thinks. I forgot that I put this on normal latency, so I'm behind. I'm used to low latency. 5, Prezi God's 50-50. No, BPD women scare me. I've had too many run-ins. I've had too many run-ins with BPD women, Leia. I know a woman with BPD from a mile away. Like I could sniff it out. Like if I'm at a bar or something and there's like a very attractive woman, if I can smell the BPD, I won't talk to them. I won't talk to them. Strong 2 out of 10, -1. Shinji with the 10 out of 10. I was not expecting Shinji for 10 out of 10. I can't believe that. They make for big, burly meat mountains like us. That's the thing. She has like the most man lesbian tattoos of all time. And it's not even like good tattoos. It's not even like good tattoos. Like, oh God, it looks like something like you would go to a tattoo artist and be like, hey, what's your tattoo portfolio look like? And they show you the tattoo portfolio and you just go like this. That one. I want that one tattooed on my body. Ma'am, that's just one I made for another customer. It's pretty generic. No, I want that one. Like that's her tattoo choice. Is just covering her eyes, going like this to portfolio and going, "Okay. I want that tattoo." Yeah, vending machine tattoos. That is a good description of it. Very good description. Very good. Very good description. This is so gross. Like, this podcast is just sad. Like, I'm pretty sure even when Ian goes live on Twitch, I, like, match his viewership. Or like, Anisa gets, like, 60 to 50 viewers a live stream. Like, I don't know when was the last time that Ian went live on Twitch? I think I'm right now, and I'm not even an hour into the live stream. I match what Ian has on Twitch. And that's like a huge platform for him. I'd rather sub to Keffel's old fart stuff than giving... Okay. Okay. No, that's gross. The Keffel's fart porn is something we don't talk about on this channel anymore. We don't talk about it on this channel. You guys are disgusting for bringing that up in the first place. You gross motherfuckers. Stop that. I don't want to think about that. That bitch is dead and gone. She's going to OD on cocaine before she knows it, and I'm super excited to report on it when it happens. But, like, stop it. Wait, did you change the name of the podcast? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the podcast was called something else, right? She ruined my life. She ruined my career. So the podcast name for the episodes is She Ruined My Career. The channel name is Maximum Damage.
Whoa! I'd rather sub to Keffel's old fart stuff than give Anisa any rating.
Oh my god, I forgot that Leafy watched the Keffel's fart porn on stream on Rumble. I forgot he did that. Bro, Leafy's stint coming back is like a haze for me. I don't remember much. I just remember Ethan Ralph called on. I remembered Nick Fuentes called in, and then Jaden McNeil called in, and Leafy didn't know anything about what was going on. And then, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, Leafy and Keem had a falling out over like $500 or something. That was fun. I was in the car when that phone call happened. It was just screaming, and I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. Like, I was like, I don't know this lore. All right, we're getting distracted. We need to stop. I'm going on rants. No more of this. Okay? Stop distracting me. He did pull up Melina's nudes as well. Yes, I do remember that. But I want to talk about this. Okay? This video was made by a channel called Glitch Posters. It was uploaded 9 days ago. This video seems to have a full breakdown of everything that's been happening right now. And the ChrisTheNarc video. I covered that a while ago. I'm going to laugh. Okay.
I'm going to give you the highest possible praise I can give anyone related to these events. You are not dumb, just misinformed. If you want to talk to me publicly or privately about React content or this case, feel free to email me or join my Discord and DM me.
Oh yeah, no, I know
probably
this.
Deservedly have a shitty reputation. Of all the people who made videos, having a conversation with you is the least likely.
Yeah, that was about Tom. I remember that. That was about Turkey Tom. I remember that.
I think that's one of the things that
But I want to see this. I'm so curious.
upsets me a little bit now about like some of the hate watchers or like old fans that haven't like moved on is like thinking that all of this is like by accident. Like my choices are just like, oh, a series of.
I don't really think anyone thinks this is like a series of accidents that brought you to this place. Like you'll admit it's intentional. I saw this clip. He was like, it's intentional that I'm killing off this audience. But the problem is that this audience in of itself like made you who you are. Then on top of that, the way you've gone about it is so negative and toxic to like everything and to collaborations and everybody that it's turned off even like normal fans of like, let's say Cold Ones, right? Even the Cold Ones guys who enjoyed the old school Filthy Frank, Anything Reviews, Max Mofo, the quad of content. When you went on that show, no one liked that you were there. You've burnt the bridge with so many different kinds of viewership groups that it's not just hate watchers. There are now people that have just know your history and have seen your collapse and seen how bad Creator Clash 2 was, that they are just A-logging you now because you're interesting to A-log. It's fine if you wanted to move on, but you did it in the worst way possible. You did it in the most toxic way possible, and you sheared the audience in, again, the worst way possible. Like, there was nothing good about this. Again, here's an example. Filthy Frank didn't want to continue doing his content, right? He couldn't do it anymore due to health reasons, and he felt like it wasn't going to continue on because YouTube was going in a different direction. He shifted into music. He looks back on that stuff and cringes at it probably and kind of doesn't like it, but he keeps that to himself. And he also still does homages to that old content for that old fan base during his Joji shows. Every time I talk about Ian, I have to bring up George, because George did it so well. The transition is actually amazing. It's like it was an amazing transition because he didn't need to keep being edgy. He just transitioned into content that he loved more. It's just, it's ridiculous. I can't understand how you didn't look at George and go, I should just copy that. I should just copy how he did that instead of burning everything around me down and then having my wife talk for me.
Unfortunate events, and it's like, that's not what it is. It's like super intentional. Like, I'm aware of it.
Yeah. I need to be on a leash.
Creator Clash 2, it was a success. We lost $250,000 on the event.
We did everything we could right. I know that you would.
No, you guys didn't. You didn't do anything right. You kicked off Froggy for no reason. Your mom was picking fights with him, and he fought back. And then you guys lied about why you kicked him. And then you started beef with Sam Hyde. And then all the creators were like, oh, we didn't get paid for money at all to do this. And then you find out they make a 25 grand purse. Then the rest of the money was spent on 3 lavish galas because Ian didn't have an opportunity to decompress after the fight. He just got on a flight and flew home. I didn't have time to hang out with friends and family. What? The gala put you back by hundreds of thousands of dollars compared to the actual event. Like, you didn't do anything correct.
Cry if I said something to you in real life. I know you would cry. How do I know? Because I've done it to one of you fuckers.
Yeah, you did it to a weak person. I'm not kidding. If Anisa came up to me and started yelling at me, being like, you piece of shit, you made up lies, you made up this, you made up that, I'd be like, Anisa, where? Where did I lie? Where did I lie in all of my coverage? Did I ever insinuate at any point that any creator was making money off of the charity in of itself? No, nobody said that. We were just confused why the fighters were getting paid when people kept saying, we aren't doing this for money, we are doing this for charity, which is what Harley kept saying and other creators kept saying. And that got really, really muddy, okay? It got muddy. It got muddy real fast. So, Anisa, if you started screaming at me, I'd be like, you fucked up. This is your fault. Everything that you've done is your guys' fault. You yelling at me ain't gonna change shit. Laser the tattoos off. Like,
in real life, and you have cried.
You do realize there are guys out there in private right now jacking off to your...
Anisa wanted to be in the Poggers community with the rest of Twitch elite, so Ian had to denounce all of his old videos and fans. See, that is a good conspiracy theory. I would call that a conspiracy theory more than anything. Because, yeah, there is some evidence to show that. Remember the interview that he did with Hassan? Where he was like, he started to denounce all of his old stuff and his, like, jokes and everything. And Hassan's like, well, it's good you realize that trolls remorse is a good like a thing that you've gone through.
Had to denounce all of his old videos and
Christ! Remember that Ian didn't go to Max's wedding when being in Australia because Anisa had to get another tattoo. Joe G actually went there to support Max, unlike Ian. So, from what I understand is that Ian did go there early to hang out with Max, but he wasn't there for the ceremony, which, in my opinion, is still shitty. When you're one of their closest friends and you're not going to stick around because your wife wants to get a tattoo, you can't stick around in a country and record more content. To make money while you're there or stream while you're there so that you could stick around for the wedding. I don't get that. I don't get it. Like an example, 2 of my friends are getting married within like a month of each other, right? It's coming up pretty soon. So my first thought wasn't, oh man, these guys live far away from me. Maybe I'll go early and then not show up to the reception or the ceremony or anything. I couldn't imagine doing that. Even if they lived in Australia and they were like, hey, I would love for you to come to my wedding. I'm going to go. I'm going to go because I care about these people. I love these people. If they've been my friends for over a decade, why wouldn't I go? And like, I look at Ian and I just see being in that position. Like, why would you do that? I don't get it. I never will.
Girlfriend. How am I the simp? How am I the simp? I was morally grandstanding, and for anyone who liked those videos, I want this video to be an example and a lesson for you. Let me just say,
Christ, when he started flogging himself about his old content, I want this to be an example for you that, you could grow and change, and my content was harmful to the internet. I contributed to the internet toxicity. This guy and Armored Skeptic are fucking pathetic losers now. Ian, I'm going to state it again because I feel like somebody needs to tell you. The people you criticized during that time frame, a lot of them had it coming. They did. A lot of them had it coming. Jinx had it coming. The Fine Bros had it coming. Leafy at the time was just a target that no one else was going after, and it was funny to watch you do it. Rice Gum, even though the Rice Gum one didn't work out in your favor. Now that I think about it, as I've gotten older, what else? You know, like a lot of those people deserved it at the time. You didn't contribute to internet toxicity as a whole, as a culture. You just criticized shitty people. Like you just criticize shitty people, and this whole contributing to internet toxicity, it's just bullshit.
Anisa is just trying to exist.
And you even said
Just trying to exist. The problem is that her existence is her constantly battling with people over stupid, petty bullshit that makes you look bad. Okay? That makes you look bad, Ian.
Trolls remorse is gay double down on the jokes.
Yes, Trolls Remorse is gay double down. It's gay as shit. Him, H-Bomber guy, all these people are just like genuinely fucking pathetic. It's funny that Tana matured. Bro, it is crazy that Tana is more mature than iDubbbz. And iDubbbz is like, I wish to apologize to Tana for saying the N-word. And Tana was like, I don't know why he's apologizing to me. It actually opened my eyes that I was doing really bad things. And I needed to make changes to myself and my content. Ian, how is Tana more mature than you? Josie real wanted to change the tour scheduling to go to Max's wedding, like Ian, who didn't go to the ceremony because he sent another set 2 to get. Yeah, no, I know how that worked. It's just complete bullshit.
that I made you feel like a bitch. And I'm glad that I did, to be honest. More people should do that to you. You want to get clipped. You want to get clipped. You want to get shared. Negative, positive, more often.
Do you really want to constantly get negatively clipped? Here's kind of like my issue with the whole all press is good press, right? The thing is that certain kinds of bad press can ruin you. Not in a good way. And everything Anisa does tends to bring in way more negative press than positive. Like, yeah, sure. There are things you can be clipped out negatively and then people can find the positive stuff that you're doing, right? They could do that. But the problem is that Anisa is constantly negative. Negative. They are never a nice person. They're never an understanding person. It's her way or you are a piece of shit alt-right Nazi. There's no in-between for her, okay?
Negative. It's kind of like...
Yeah, Anisa planned the Tana stuff, which is like really funny. And then Anisa was nowhere to be seen in that video to be like, I'm sorry, Tana. It was all iDubbbz. It was all iDubbbz.
Like when you go fishing and you go to a new lake and you're like, I'm just gonna like throw out, I don't know, a grasshopper that I found on the ground and just a big old trout. I am unhinged.
Anisa is just trying to exist. That sort of like flippant behavior, it makes me want to be violent. It makes me want to be very violent. Oh, a series of unfortunate events. And it's like, that's not what it is. It's like super intentional. Like,
Yeah.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to separate constructive criticism from hate sometimes.
Criticism isn't the easiest thing to navigate. There can be hostility, miscommunications, ego issues, and so on. Avoiding criticism in one way or another may be less painful in the short term, though if gone unchecked for too long, there are usually consequences. This video is about critique, defiance, failure, and the possibility of redemption. iDubbbz, also known as Ian, is a YouTuber most known for Content Cop, a critical series on other controversial YouTubers, though his...
You know that, like, eats him up inside is that anytime one of these exposed videos get dropped or one of these retrospective videos on his career gets dropped, every goddamn time, they always say, iDubbbz is known for Content Cop. You know that eats him alive. You know that keeps him up at night. It's just like the worst thing he can hear now. He's like, oh God, another one. Oh God, another video. I was only known for Content Cop. I wasn't known for the squirrel videos. Oh no! Like, that's like the worst thing for him. If Anisa owned the negativity, she would be right. Yeah, if she owned the negativity, but the problem is that she'll never own it. She'll never own that she contributes to the negative cycle that ends up being their downfall. And he does it too. They're both perfect for this. Crazy that she wanted to try and have sex with Chris Ray-Gun and not iDubbbz. Crazy, bro. Chris Ray-Gun could have just, like, gone down the shitter if Anisa ended up with him. We might have kept the old iDubbbz. I don't care about the old iDubbbz. I just care if you're growing properly, and you're not. You're just an idiot.
career has been through the ringer. It's been over a year since I've made a video about Ian or his lovely wife Anisa, and things have only gotten worse for them since. The problems they were dealing with years ago are the same problems they continue to complain about today. Some may say that the mistakes that Ian has made are trivial. However, it's undeniable that he's lost a significant amount of viewership and respect as a content creator over the last few years. Whether or not you think he's largely responsible for his own downfall, a multi-million-dollar YouTube career has been fumbled in one way or another. A recent
I genuinely believe that it is. Like, if I have to give him, like, my take before I watch this video that maybe will change my perspective on it. I don't know. The title is not boding well. But, like, my legitimate feeling on this is that Ian was never who he portrayed to be on the internet, ever in his entire life. Like, he was when he was doing the Gangnam Style dance videos and being a goofy little dude. But he was never like this hardened guy. He was very good at writing scripts for things, but acting upon it or following through with the things he was saying as advice to other people or criticisms of other people, he couldn't do it himself. Like, for me, right? My biggest thing that I struggle with, and I'll tell you all, my biggest thing that I struggle with is, like, constantly trying to find the next thing, right? Like, I really don't care about, like, 99% of anything else on the internet. It's like, what next thing can I bring you guys? Like, that's my ultimate struggle. And people will come to me and go, oh, what should I do? What should I cover? What should I cover? And, like, I just tell them outright, it's like, I have no idea, whatever you find to be entertaining. And, like, I refuse to give people advice that I don't follow, right? But Ian was giving out advice that he couldn't follow to people. Like, that's the problem. He positioned himself as, like, a moral authority on shit. And when it became his turn to start getting criticized, he couldn't handle it. It's just great.
Cast from Ian Anisa tries to make it seem like iDubbbz has started to figure things out and is about to right the ship of his brand and career.
See, right here, reacting to Cold One's comments. Why would you do this? Why would you react to the Cold One's comments? If you know that these comments fuck you up as much as they do, if you say that, why would you ever react to these comments? Like, an example is, like, Filthy Frank reads, like, hater comments, right? That was him making, like, having fun with it. I don't think it, like, really got to him, and he had, like, a whole day of his life dedicated to being upset about it. Like, he made a goof video about all this shit and laughed at it. Ian and Nisa take it seriously. They take it seriously, okay? They take it seriously. It hurts them on, like, a personal and, like, soul level. If you know that already, why are you subjecting yourself to it? It's just pathetic. Masochism. Yeah, I can see masochism being a major issue here.
You had come to that conclusion, I'm pretty sure, the last video that you put out. So when I watched it, I was like, oh, holy shit, he's figured it out. I was able to, like, bring it up to you, like, okay, now go look at the Cheez-It video. And, like,
the Cheez-It video, bro. I cannot believe that he made a video on fucking Cheez-Its. When he did it, bro, that little stint of making, like, child content, it was like, look at these Cheez-Its. I made a zip-popping toy with Thanos' face in it. Oh, my God. I've never wanted to load a gun more in my life into my mouth and just pull the trigger on live stream. Like, I've never wanted that more in my life. When I started hearing that he was making that kind of content, I was just like, oh God, someone get me a Beretta with a hollow point round, please.
Cheez-It video is such a great example
you
of
could see the
that.
difference between this one and the Cheez-It video, and you watched it, and for the first time, you're like, oh yeah, there it is.
But I'm not convinced that iDubbbz has started to get himself out of the hole
You sounded just like him.
he's found himself in. He established himself as one of the most critical YouTubers out there and turned out to be hypersensitive to criticism himself, to the point where he's willing to hold a grudge against his old audience for years. We'll go over Ian's past controversies for people not as familiar with the iDubbbz saga, and I'll provide some fresh context from their more recent content along the way to shed some new light for those more
Edgy jokes are not childish. I'll stand on that. I'll stand on business. Who gives a shit if people find edgy jokes funny? Who cares? Who cares if I want to make a joke about another culture, race, religion, creed? I don't care. It's a fucking joke. It's not meant to harm anybody. No one cares. No one should give a shit. It's a joke. Make fun of that person back. Have a dialogue. Edgy jokes are not bad. Yeah, I forgot. He discovered empathy at 30 years old, which How do you develop empathy as a 30-year-old? Seriously, I don't get that. What kind of life did you lead, Ian? Okay, what life did you lead that brought you here? That brought you to this point in life where you developed empathy in your 30s. How do you do that? Shitting on Anisa is just as fun as shitting on Tipster. It is. I was going to make fun of the children's toy thing. No, just an egg. No, but that's the thing, is that retards are going to come screaming into the comments and say that at one point. So I like to, so when I see something like that, even if it's a joke, I'll pounce on it and just immediately shut it down. Because I know there's going to be some dumb motherfucker out there that's going to be like, why do you have such an issue with Ethan growing up? Are you just mad that he doesn't say the N-word anymore? I don't care if he says the N-word. I don't care. If he does or doesn't, it doesn't matter into the long run. It was him being edgy. Wow. Okay. Who cares? I want the guy that has confidence. Like the iDubbbz that I want is the guy that showed the confidence that he did to do the content that he looked like he was enjoying. I want that guy. I don't want this guy. I don't want this whiny fucking man-child that has a overly barren, completely insane wife. I don't want this guy. But that's his prerogative. If he wants to live this life, go live that life, Ian. Just know there's going to be people like me and others that are going to A-log you and laugh at you. Like, because you're so pathetic. If you just transition the content, no one would think about it. If you didn't make a video apologizing, nobody would think about it. They'd be like, oh, he's just doing squirrel videos. Cool. That's it. Oh, he wants to do documentaries on like Airsoft Fatty and Dax Flames and all these other rare internet personalities. Okay. That's cool. But when you make a video being like, I contributed to the toxic negativity and all these fans of mine said horrible things and I feel guilty about it and I made children say the N-word. It's like, bro, who cares? Who cares? Why do you need to burden yourself like you're Jesus fucking Christ? I don't get it.
More familiar with his story. Before we get into the initial conflict between Ian and his audience, let's talk about this criticism issue a bit more, because one of the critiques he regularly gets is that he sucks at listening to it. This point has been made many times before, but it's still strange to see the guy known for his edgy takedowns of other YouTubers handle criticism and mockery so poorly.
Over the past year, maybe couple of years, I've kind of been ignoring a lot of feedback, I think, from the audience.
Well, it's been hard because you have, in some regards, been gaslit heavily.
Right.
Like,
it feels bad because I think I've been, for my own...
What do you mean gaslit? Hold on.
It's strange to see the guy known for his edgy takedowns of other YouTubers handle criticism and mockery so poorly.
Over the past year, maybe couple of years, I've kind of been ignoring a lot of feedback, I think, from the audience.
Well, it's been hard because you have, in some regards, been gaslit.
Are you too retarded? Like, genuinely, are you too retarded? The answer is yes. It's obviously you're both fucking idiots. So here's the thing, right? If you look at a comment or criticism, right, and it is painfully obvious you're being gaslit, ignore that. If it's somebody coming to you and saying, hey, Ian, you're kind of coming across like an X, Y, and Z thing here, and it's legitimate criticism, pay attention to that. But that's not being, you can't let the stupid people gaslight you. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you let the stupid people gaslight you? Why would you let the stupid people gaslight you? It's like any time that like I watch Lockout Live, right? And they read the chat and it's like, it's fake, it's scripted, it's fake, it's scripted. And then they respond to the fake and scripted shit. Like, why pay attention to that? Why even acknowledge that? Like, what is the point? Oh, God. This old guard of the internet just became so weak. Oh! What is happening here? Sidebar. Brandon Buckyham's calling out DJ Academics. Brandon W! Academics is the biggest Drake dick rider. I just want to read this. DJ Academics is really fat drunk pussy for running right to his little scream after Duel died. Bro, I remember. Yeah, so Brandon put out a video with like the hardest gangsters and rappers in like a certain area, and one of the guys he was interviewing, was a friend of his that died. And Academics went on live stream and just started trash talking the guy. And just started like, what was the words? Basically profiting off his death. Because Brandon released that video the day before he died. He had no idea he died until the day after. So you can't come after Brandon for monetizing the death, right? But Academics, hell yeah! Academics will do that in a millisecond. I'm not into hip-hop, and I'm voyeuristic when his woman-beating, bald head ass sits at the computer all day and is afraid to go into any hood anywhere. So true. Academics would get his shit rocked if he walked into any actual neighborhood. Stay inside and keep talking shit from the comfort of your home. We're both civilians, and I have 10 times the heart as your bitch ass. Another Brandon Buckingham W. Another Brandon W. Sorry, I got distracted. Anytime somebody shits on academics, it's like the best day for me. I love hip hop. It's one of my favorite genres. But like, AK is like, I fucking hate that guy. I hate that guy so goddamn much. Everybody else, from like a music reviewer standpoint, or people that like do the kind of content academics do, way better. I would even say Brad Taste is better than AK. I'm going to be real. I think Brad is better than academics. That's saying something.
Heavily.
Right.
Like,
It feels bad because I think I've been, for my own mental health, like ignoring that.
yes.
For many YouTubers, not looking at the comments at all is an option. iDubbbz, however, has had a bad relationship with his audience for quite some time, and his viewership has been declining for years, so understanding why people have issues with him is important. Ian has been defiant towards his fans for a while.
What it is, I think, in general, is it's just me being flippant. Oh, the word is defiant.
Defiant.
I think I have a defiant streak.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like, it's one of the reasons that I did not want to work a normal job.
Yeah.
I hated being told what to do,
Yeah.
even if it's like what's expected.
Yeah.
That is your most American trait.
Yeah. True.
Don't tell me what to do.
And it is
Okay, so this is the thing, right? Ian, you need to get a job. Okay. Like, yes, you could be defiant all day long. I'm not a fan of working retail or sales or anything. I hated working for that shit. I did. I still do to this day. The idea of like going back to that is frustrating to me. I do other things, obviously, but like, I'm not stupid. If like, let's say at any point that I'm in a financial dire straits situation, I'm going to get a job. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. But like, you need to put that pride to the side. You need to be able to do that so you can still live a life, own a house, all this other shit. I'm pretty sure at one point he said he was going to be an Amazon delivery driver. Yeah, that's just being a brat. You got to do what you have to do to survive. You can't do this childish bullshit of being like, I don't like being told what to do, so I refuse to get a job. What? Why? You're just gonna be destitute. You're not gonna afford anything. You're gonna be broke. Like, why would you do that to yourself? You know?
It's this childlike defiance that is the essence of his failure. This years-long streak of defiance started where you might guess, OnlyFans. In March of 2020, Ian's girlfriend, now wife, decided to start an OF account. Before this, Anisa would stream in a revealing way, so it wasn't too drastic of a career change for her.
She was a titty streamer that said there were good things about the Holocaust. Can I pull that clip up? I love that clip. I love that clip so much. It's like my favorite. I don't know how to spell Holocaust. Don't care. Anisa Holocaust clip. I need that. I need the Holocaust. Who has the Holocaust clip? I need it right now. Someone please send it to me. I need it. I need that clip. I need it so much. I love that clip. It's my favorite clip of Anisa. It's my absolute favorite clip of her. Where she's just like, well, you know, like the Nazis did good things. Like, I love that clip. I can't get enough of it.
Still, both her and iDubbbz got a lot of backlash over this. Most people were just making fun of them, but there are some people who took it rather personally. Ian talked about this in his old response video.
A good amount of people are just doing the reasonable thing and just making jokes and laughing about it, but there's a whole nother group of people who feel personally devastated and betrayed.
When I first saw this video when it came out, I didn't think much of it. I think having an OF girlfriend is whack, and so was Ian's response, but it didn't really affect my opinion of his content. Now I'm seeing it in a different light. It no longer comes off as a frustrated clarification. It comes off as vengeful and petty, sort of like, you, the audience, have upset me. Now I'm going to teach you a lesson about making fun of simps.
You think
Oh no, did I say say without adding the context of Anisa, did I just scream I need the Holocaust clip? That's actually hilarious. That's actually funny.
these retards would actually do a smidgen of research? This is straight out of the playbook of the boomer who's decaying in his lazy boy, who wants to tell you, no one's gonna hire you looking like that.
The internet is a forever archive, so there's no regret, delete all button. That's not
But, like, Atozi didn't say anything that's crazy. Wait, what? Hold on.
Upset me. Now I'm going to teach you a lesson about making fun of simps.
You think these retards would actually do a smidgen of research? This is straight out of the playbook of the boomer who's decaying in his lazy boy, who wants to tell you, no one's gonna hire you looking like that.
The internet is a forever archive, so there's no regret, delete all button. That's not quite there.
What? Ian, that's not even remotely close to what he was saying. He was just literally saying the internet's forever. And people get declined from jobs, like, all the time due to sex work stuff. It's not like a new occurrence. Teachers lose their jobs all the time when they get found out to have OnlyFans content. Fucking regular workers get fired from their jobs when they're found out to do OnlyFans content. Like, what Atozi's saying isn't that crazy of a situation. It happens all the time. So I don't get how it's like the lazy boy chair boomer meme. No one's gonna hire you if you look like that. It's not that at all. It's a fact of life. I don't get it.
I don't know why this shitty point is being made. It's sort of
3 minutes in. Okay, thank you. Oh, Sleepy.
Ladies and gents, I've spoken about iDubbbz.
Okay, where? Nope. 3 minutes in. Yeah, no, the Holocaust clip's not here. I gotta stop saying that without the context.
like from 2003. By the
I need to stop saying, where's the Holocaust clip? I need to stop.
way, the internet, it's a forever archive. Didn't know if you knew.
This aged horribly. Maybe Anisa doesn't care for...
Further, it's chaptered. Okay.
Ladies and gents, I've...
Sleepy's mewing system is fucking crazy.
Now let's allow this intelligent young woman to explain her views on the Holocaust.
As terrible as the Holocaust was, obviously it was horrendous, and how disgusting the doctor was that did the experiments on people, gay people, handicaps, twins. I think that's, and obviously they were obviously Jewish, or they did it on Jewish people.
Obviously Jewish.
They found a couple of really groundbreaking discoveries through that experimentation.
Now, again...
That's the greatest clip of, like, all time. It's, like, the greatest fucking clip. And she said it with such confidence. I fucking love that clip. Every single time. It never gets old. It never gets old.
Nude pictures are shared without her permission, but a search for those photos on both Google and DuckDuckGo show free re-uploads of her material before her official OF page. Ian's other...
Yeah, and Sam Hyde reviewed it on stream and was like, is that a banana that she's shoving up inside herself? Bro, Sam is crazy. I would not review Anisa's OnlyFans on live stream. That is crazy, bro.
Other points are about as bad, like how you should be okay with OF models because there are probably people who are jacking it to your girlfriend without her knowledge anyway.
You should break up with her, but I'm cool with it. You do realize there are guys out there in private right now jacking off to your girlfriend, but...
That doesn't make any sense. I forgot about that line. I forgot about that line. There is a dude in private jerking off to your girlfriend. If my girlfriend was posting, like, complete nudes and, like, shoving things up her pussy for money, then that would make sense. But I would never have a girlfriend like that. So what's the other option? She's, like, posting like a beach photo in her bikini or something? Is that it? That's not really the same. One of them is just them living their lives. The other one is doing sex work for money. Ian? Yeah, that is true. The difference is my partner doesn't invite these people to do so. Exactly. It's like what Sneeko tried to use against Pokemon, which she called out Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, what?
But I guess it's out of sight, out of mind, it's not a problem.
And sure, there are a lot of gooners out there. The difference is that Anisa is actively encouraging those people to goon to her in order to...
Ooh, what's this? I don't think I've heard this before. Porn addiction is more common than people think, and it's a real addiction. And if you feel like you're struggling with that, you deserve help. She said that. I did not know she said that. So she was, or maybe still is, because I can't prove the is, obviously. Totally aware of how damaging porn addiction is. And monetized off of that, which, you know, if you're an attractive woman and you want to be a titty streamer, I really don't care. Do your thing, right? Just don't, I'm not going to date you. But this is just so funny. This is so funny reading this.
To make money and garner attention. I'm pretty sure that's the part people have a problem with, but I digress. What about Ian's approach to this situation? He digs up tweets with no likes and no traction in order to make a point about the hate he's getting. It comes.
That is a good point. I didn't think about that. Hold on.
What about Ian's approach to this situation? He digs up tweets with no likes.
If Anisa wants to sell her nudes online, she's a whore and a hustler. Kind of true. If iDubbbz wants to contribute to his GF sending nudes online, then he's a bitch and a hypocrite. Well, he did call women whores that do sexual stuff in one of his videos. So if men want to pay to see those nudes, they're idiots. True. Like, why would you pay for nudes when porn is just free everywhere? Why would you pay for it? Why would you pay for the nudes? iDubbbz says he's changed his thoughts on sex work, is not a simp, he's more of a hypocrite. Because if he's a hypocrite, he makes up content, targets people, but he himself has a girlfriend whoring herself and does nothing about it. His videos and channel culminated fans and relate to the content, and they just can't believe how he became that. But it's the GF's fault.
And no traction in order to make a point about the hate he's getting. It comes off as...
Which, yeah, those have one like. Like, who gives a fuck what they have to say? Who gives a fuck what, like, 90% of people have to say?
Desperate to control public perception. iDubbbz had such a large audience, there was bound to be some hate thrown his way, no matter what the controversy was. He decided to make a harsh and preachy response as a main channel upload. He chose to amplify the most aggressive comments towards him by reflecting their hostility. I mean, he's about as red as a stick of dynamite from Looney Tunes here. Those tweets had no traction. This was a video posted to a channel that regularly gets millions of views per video right after the OF controversy. Of course there was going to be further backlash. I bet a lot of his viewers at the time weren't even clued into what was happening, and then they were hit with this cherry red rage. In the grand scheme of things, this did...
That is another great point. The sheer fact that this was on Twitter. His main audience probably did not care or know about it because not every single one of your fans are on Twitter. They're not there. They don't care. They literally do not care, right? And notice where this video came from. This video, Michael Reeves video, some kind of ramen video, TikTok video, incredible man cheats at breathalyzer test, something about peanuts, and then boom! Don't make fun of my girlfriend. Don't make fun of my wife. Boom! Just in your face for no reason.
Didn't do that much damage to the iDubbbz channel at the time. His videos were still getting millions of views afterwards. However, this did change Ian's attitude towards his audience.
You felt like the audience was like with you 100%, like they got it. And then I think this actually started during the OnlyFans thing where you all of a sudden saw that your audience was projecting a lot of things onto you, that you like had all these thoughts and feelings that you don't have. And I think it scared you of like, holy shit, these people don't know me at all.
Right.
A very big thing that has sort of altered my view on all of this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife Anisa has received over the years.
These are often Anisa's words, although Anisa is...
Hold on! Let's pump the brakes, Ian. Your wife has said crazy shit. And people are shitting on her because of those crazy things and the things she's done and said and the fact that she was going to cheat on you with Chris Ray-Gun. Doesn't matter. Let's forget about those DM leaks. Let's forget about the Discord leaks of Anisa trying to get with Chris Ray-Gun and that she needed a real man. Let's not focus on that, right? Let's ignore that whole thing. This is your wife's own making. This isn't you. This isn't your fans. She kept doing this, kept attracting people, a hater community of her because she is an insufferable asshole and people don't like her. And you're married to her. So of course that's going to leak into your shit.
known to speak for Ian.
I have this problem where I talk for us.
Yeah.
I've always had that problem. And
She's doing it now.
I'm doing it now. But that's why I love that you're in therapy because I think that
I'm getting better at it. Having no...
My God, do you see that? Oh my God, stop. Did you see that?
Known to speak for Ian.
I have this problem where I talk for us.
Yeah.
You need to stop talking. I feel like people would hate you guys less if Anisa just shut the fuck up. Like, go behind the camera again, just like back in the day. Academics as a new friend on the... Okay. Okay, bro. Okay. But, like, guys, do you see what I'm talking about with this? It's like, how many of you would let all the iDubbbz stuff go if Anisa just started shutting the fuck up and not talking at all? I'm curious. One's in the chat if you think that. Would you just never care ever again if Anisa just shut the fuck up? And stop speaking for Ian. Just because she's a woman doesn't matter, Anisa. Because I know that is your argumentation point, is that you're a woman and blah, blah, blah. No. If a man was speaking this much for a woman, I would be saying the same fucking thing. So shut up. Like, I genuinely believe if Anisa just shut the fuck up, I would stop caring about the iDubbbz stuff. He annoys me too, but, like, I wouldn't be as invested. You know? I wouldn't be as invested.
Always had that problem. And
She's doing it now.
I'm doing it now, but that's why I love that you're in therapy, because I think that
I'm getting better at it. Having no choice but to confront it head on. It's like really like, okay, Anisa's not here. What do I say?
There is something to be said about Anisa.
Anisa is not here. What do I say? Bro, that's so sad. How do you have no agency for yourself? How do you not speak? How do you have someone else speak for you all the time? I would lose my fucking mind. I would lose my mind. If I was in a relationship and my partner kept speaking for me and everything around me keeps getting more and more frustrating because of the things this person is saying, I would lose my mind and leave them. Because I'd be like, you stop talking for me. But I'm different than Ian, I guess. I guess most people are just different, that they would just... Oh, it's so annoying just thinking about that.
Speaking for Ian all of the time, but his defiance and resentment towards his own audience would explain a lot in the story of his career. The people who took things oddly personally were a vocal minority, and that's who iDubbbz chose to focus on. Couple this with how sensitive Ian is to criticism and mockery, and things start to fall into place.
For every 20 positive comments, the one comment holds about as much as power as the 20 negative ones. And
Your mindset is so weak! You're weak! You're a weak man, iDubbbz. You're gonna let one negative comment out of a sea of positive get to you like that. I can understand if a whole comment section was against you and you're like, okay, now I have to say something. There's a whole wave, like an unstoppable crashing wave of people. I could see responding to something like that to clear the air, right? I could see that. But if you are saying, well, there's 20 positive comments and I focus really hard on the one negative one, you're a weak man. You're a weak man. And I swear to God, I'm pretty sure Anisa gets upset by those comments too, and then they just feed off of each other. It's like, you see what that person said? Yeah, I can't believe what they said. You gonna let them do that to us? What do you mean to us? Well, they're upset at me. Well, you have to do something about it. Like, that is how I expect their conversations to go. Why would this person say something like that? That's not right. That's not genuine. Why would they even say that? Like, I feel like that's their regular conversations when they look at a negative comment. That is their couple conversation. Like, I can't imagine how sad that is.
Or positive ones. Even if it's just one day or a small controversy, it's so much worse than like a legacy or multiple years of doing well, doing pretty good.
This is a bit much, but it is a common problem that people have, focusing too much on the negative. Sometimes a bad remark can stick with us for longer than we would expect, and I think that's something a lot of people can relate to. But when you're a YouTuber, a highly critical commentary channel, getting negative comments is a natural part of the process, especially during a controversy. Looking for tweets with no traction to highlight the kind of hate you're getting is basically an invitation for more people to start dunking on you. This was a pretty bad way to approach the OF situation, and it still seems to bother him to this day. But for about 2 years after Ian's response video, he was relatively controversy-free. He never made another content cop, but his uploads were satisfactory, for the most part. They weren't anything special, and the iDubbbz channel at one point did feel special. He released his Dax Flame documentary during this time, and out of the 3 documentaries he did, the others on Airsoft Fatty and Sam Hyde, I think the one on Dax Flame was the weakest. Not a bad video, but relatively forgettable. He also wasn't uploading as much during this 2-year span. While it wasn't obvious to everyone at this point, Ian still held on to his resentment over the OF kerfuffle. With his next documentary, however, more people would start to look at iDubbbz differently.
Dude, Sam Hyde mogged him. I can't, like, stress that enough. Sam just mogged him for fun. Like, he just mogged the shit out of him. It was unprompted. like, iDubbbz was like, I'm just going to show up here, and I'm going to show a very controversial person and paint them in a controversial light. And Sam Hyde's like, I'm playing the Uno reverse card on you, bitch. I'm going to start showing people how sensitive you are. Like, bro, I cannot believe that Sam Hyde just completely destroyed this man. Like, he out-machoed him. Like, you can't go after Sam. Everyone that goes after Sam Hyde seems to fail. I've realized that. Every person that's gone off after Sam Hyde has either failed or missed the mark in its entirety. I love it. I love that. I love that so much.
So, the Sam Hyde arc. We'll learn a bit more about Sam as we revisit this. All that's important for now is that he's a controversial comedian, and that's probably putting it lightly. iDubbbz made a documentary about him titled Getting Away With It. It was another video that would be divisive for the iDubbbz audience. Entertainment-wise, this was some of the best stuff ever put on his channel. He went through various odd and questionable aspects of Sam's life, only for Sam to reveal that it was all for show.
I'm curious about your relationship with Danny. Has she been on drugs since she met you?
She's been on drugs since before she met me, so if you're implying that I've driven her to drug use, you are incorrect.
Okay. Have you tried to get her any help?
No, seeing as she's a girl I paid $500 to shave her head and pretend to be my girlfriend, no, I haven't tried to get her any help. Also, I think I told her to put her hand in your pocket and pretend to be on drugs. You know,
This is so upsetting to me right now.
How is that upsetting? That's fucking hilarious. Dude, if I was going with the intention of doing something like that, right? And I know that it's Sam Hyde. The man made the show $1 Million Extreme, okay? If you did your research, you would know Sam is going to find a way to fuck with you. Look at all of his content. It's him fucking with people. The TED Talk is him fucking with people. Like, how did you not think of that? That Sam Hyde would do something like this. I just love this. Like, Sam was just like, yo, I totally trolled the shit out of you like I do to everybody else. And Ian's like, I'm upset. I'm upset that you tricked me. I'm upset that you trolled me in person. Bro, you're the one that walked into the lion's den. You can't really be mad when the lion, like, bites at you and goes, lol.
I'm a millionaire. You think I have a shit-ass office like this?
Shut up. This is your office.
Says who? Also, the slingshot's a rental.
There are a lot of details to the story behind this documentary, but the main question is, what were Ian's intentions with his documentary on Sam? Was it meant to be a hit piece to make Sam look bad, or did he have a more pure motive in mind? Let's look at the points for both sides of this old debate. Sam and Ian's first interaction was years before this came out, and it was a negative one. I guess Sam was making some kind of pony game as a joke, but didn't want people to know it was a joke or something like that. Ian made a video about it, addressing it like a real product because he wasn't in on the joke. Sam issued a copyright claim.
There were some creators at the time who made videos about this fake pony project.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you one of them?
I was one of them.
What did I do?
You copyright claimed the video.
I was trying to not have that ruse get blown, though.
Right.
So maybe that had something to do with it.
That probably did.
First, let's address the copyright claim. I don't agree with it, even if it was an attempt to preserve the...
Which is fair. I agree with that. Sam should not have copyright claimed Ian for a review of a product just to maintain the joke, okay? I agree with that, right? I feel like we're all on the same page here. To copyright claim somebody over someone reviewing your product that you're putting out there, you should be happy that somebody was doing that in a serious manner so you could turn around and go, hey, look at these idiots that took this seriously, you know? That I feel like that's a good criticism of Sam for that.
Humor of what Sam was doing. Copyright claims are whack and should be reserved for egregious situations only. However, this was years ago, and it seems like Ian has been holding on to a grudge against Sam ever since. After all, he says that's the reason why he's there.
That's what led to this day today.
Really? Okay.
I forgot about that. That the copyright claim is what drove Ian to make it wasn't Sam being like an interesting character. It wasn't Sam's litany of situations. It wasn't Sam's actual comedy. It was I remember that copyright claim from back like 5 years ago, and I never let it go. So I learned about you because of this, and I never let it go, and I just remember it forever. It's like if I started doing interviews right with people, I wouldn't interview people that I still have an issue with. I would interview people that I find intriguing, but not people I have issues with, because then shit like this could happen.
So are you gonna punk me?
You're getting punked.
Really? How are you gonna punk me?
I'm gonna make you look like an asshole.
Really?
Which isn't hard to do.
Is that really the case?
No.
Which isn't hard to do. Bro, he seems so honest in that moment. Hold on. I need to listen to that again.
Led to this day today.
Really? Okay, so are you gonna punk me?
You're getting punked.
Really? How are you gonna punk me?
I'm gonna make you look like an asshole.
Really?
Which is
That sound like, bro, you could just, you could feel how genuine that was. It's like, I'm just gonna make you look like an asshole. Yeah, an asshole. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not doing that. I'm definitely not doing that. I'm not. No, I'm not gonna make you look like an asshole. Like, oh God, he was so serious in that moment.
hard to do.
Is that really the case?
No.
It almost comes across like he's saying, you brought this upon yourself. The counter to this is, well, Ian was just breaking the ice. Bringing up their first interaction isn't strange at all. It goes deeper than that, and if you have any social skills at all, you can tell that iDubbbz is taking a combative and antagonistic approach during much of the interview.
Did I create an enemy with that?
I mean, for a period.
Damn,
I didn't like you.
I'm sorry.
You were an asshole.
I'm sorry, buddy. That's no good.
Yeah, why'd you do that to me?
Then there's the timing of the release of the doc. Sam had his own crew there, and they were able to get enough of their own footage to make their own cut. He was suspicious of Ian's intentions from the first email.
I knew from the get-go that he was coming out here to make me look bad. I knew from the first email what it was because he'd been getting a lot of shit from like 4chan right-wing type guys because of his OnlyFans girlfriend. He's gonna make me look bad so that he can like get one over on the people that have been trolling him for having a OnlyFans girlfriend.
So it makes sense that he would want his own footage. Sam claims there was 9 months without any communication or any sign that the documentary would actually come out at this point.
It's not to make iDubbbz look stupid or anything, or like do anything like, oh, burn, we took your documentary footage and released it first, dude. No, it's just like we spent $15,000 on this. Yeah. We took 9 months to make, or it's been 9 months and there's no communication, and we spent 2 weeks of time. That's what I'm more worried about. So
because the filming didn't go how Ian had planned and Sam stole the show with his antics, he believed that iDubbbz wasn't going to release the documentary at all. So he released his own version, which implied some of his concerns about iDubbbz trying to snake him. Let's back up for a second though, because the iDubbbz camp also claims there was no communication.
Sam did not communicate at all
Yeah.
with Ian about that, so that was obviously a tactic, probably.
Probably.
On this one, I believe.
You know what I'm kind of annoyed with is that, like, this is on both sides for me, right? This is my issue, okay? Neither one of them have shown that communication broke down. It was just all verbal that I am aware of, unless the Sam Hyde documentary was so long ago that I can't remember, but like neither one of them in these moments talking are showing any sort of proof that communication broke down. Plus, the sheer fact that iDubbbz took 9 months to put together that documentary is fucking ridiculous.
Sam, there's footage of him calling Ian. He talks about how he feels like he may have tried.
Oh, excuse me. There is communication. I'm retarded. Excuse me.
To communicate too much.
I think I probably kind of like overwhelmed him. He was on Twitter. He was on Twitter trying to line up fights with people, and I was like, "Yo, can you get me in there? Let me get a fight with Fantano." And I think I bothered him too much, something like that. I wasn't like an asshole or anything, but I think I probably just texted him too many times.
And iDubbbz as well as Anisa have both talked about their terrible communication skills.
You ask any of our fighters, and it's like, yeah, Anisa was the one who like solves problems. She is more communicative than me, and she's better at communicating than I am. I f***ing suck at this shit.
I'm fully tapped.
I keep seeing this YouTuber named Alec Gunter my subscription feed. Is he worth watching, or is he on the political spectrum? Don't watch him. Genuinely don't watch him. Here's why, okay? I'm going to go on like a little bit of a Alec Gunter rant. You should watch my new clip, okay, Tic Tacs? Tic Tacs to Spencer. I'm telling you right now, watch the new clip that's going to get put up on the channel probably, hopefully by today or at latest tomorrow. And then make your decision if you want to watch Alec Gunter after that. Make your decision if you want to watch Alec after that, okay? Just don't worry about it. You know, it's Alec. Just wait for that video. Just wait for that clip up on the channel. Just wait.
Dude, right? Can't make a phone call. You phone me? I'm not picking that shit up. I'm hiding from my phone.
Anisa is the one. She is the one to talk to.
Ian does.
Bro, they both literally do not take accountability for each other's actions at any point. It is the funniest shit to me. Oh, well, you have to talk to Anisa. Anisa's the one that talks all the time. I don't talk to anybody. Anisa clip earlier. I don't talk to nobody. Fuck you.
Gunter in my subscription feed. Is he worth a watch or is he on the political spectrum?
I just wait until the clip.
All the phone stuff, to be honest.
Sam comes across as the kind of person who would be responding and reaching out to the person he just collaborated with for a week to make sure the project is still making progress. iDubbbz comes across as the kind of person who has a panic attack whenever the doorbell rings. Alright, back to the timing of the release. The iDubbbz version came out a month after Sam's. This caused a lot of people to think that iDubbbz only released his version as a response, and that if Sam never uploaded his version, Ian's cut wouldn't have come out either. That Ian wasn't able to make the hit piece on Sam he wanted and planned on scrapping the project altogether, only for Sam to release his version. The iDubbbz camp has recently denied this, attributing
I need an optics check. Look at. Oh God, what is this? Oh, that's just that's just the general chat. Okay. What? Are you an idiot? Smaggle, that is the dumbest question you have ever asked me in your entire life. Like, what are you talking about? Nope. Stop. We are not. There are two totally. I'm not doing this right now. We'll talk after the stream. Okay? Stop. Smaggle, we'll talk after the stream. Because this is so stupid. I need to explain to you why it's stupid. Okay? I need to explain it to you in a call why it's stupid. And I'm not doing it on a live stream.
The delay to their editor's procrastination, saying that the documentary was almost done by the time Sam uploaded.
I'm like a
What did Smaggle ask? Bro, I'm literally losing brain cells. That's all you need to know.
chronic procrastinator. I just put it off for too long. I do that with a lot of things, my own work included.
Yeah. No, I mean, Ian does too.
Xylee, if you saw what Smaggle just DM'd me, you would also be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like... Smaggle, DM Xylee the same exact thing you DM me and see how she responds to that. Go on. She'll give you the optics check.
I do as well, and I think that's the problem, is all three of us, none of us set deadlines.
Nope.
For ourselves or each other.
This is Dane, by the way. We'll see him again a bit later on. Even if procrastination is the sole reason why it came out so late, which I have my doubts on, that doesn't mean Ian's intentions were pure from the start. It just means
it's just an optics check. It's the dumbest optics check I've ever seen.
That he wasn't planning on scrapping the project and has a lazy editor. Of course, there's also the documentary itself. Watching it again for the first time in a while, I was surprised by how much of the video is spent criticizing.
Yeah, you say that until you get the same question I got asked.
Sam, and I get it. Sam Hyde is a controversial figure, so talking about that in a documentary about him is natural. However, this is more than just a documentary. It's a pretty massive critique of Sam and his work, and it's clear Ian is trying to make a point.
A lot of Sam.
Okay, fine. The chat wants Smaggle. We'll bring Smaggle on. Okay? I'll call Smaggle. The chat wants Smaggle. I'll bring Smaggle. He's not answering. I'm literally calling him. I'm not kidding. Here, I'll show you. I won't show you the DMs, but here. I'm calling him. Right here. He's not answering. Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought.
Sam's comedy seems to be rooted in him trying to rile people up. But if you're not saying anything about something when you say it, why do you even say it? So with the context that Sam openly aligns himself with the alt-right and white and misogynistic stuff, it's hard to write off any of the ironic stuff as just ironic.
I don't know how you can't. Like, do you really believe Sam hates women? There he is. Smaggle.
What?
Okay. I'm going to put you on blast for this fucking optics check because it's ridiculous. Hello?
Hold on. I can explain, but have you told them what I said? Or...
No, not yet. I've just been like, you're ridiculous. So I'll read it out loud. Okay?
Okay.
Optics check. Is it too early to say Brandon Buckingham, quote-unquote, killing that rapper gives him a lot of Keemstar Etika vibes? My first... I'm going to keep reading the DMs. He didn't kill the guy. What? He wasn't even involved. He died after the video went out, laughing my ass off. Yeah, but Keemstar wasn't either. That's where I'm going with this. You do realize that it...
And then, hold on. For official transparency, you said DM Xylee that, laughing my fucking ass.
True. Okay, fine. You want me to just leak... I'll literally just show it to you. I'll show it to the chat.
No, it's fine.
Oh, total transparency, right? So...
Okay, then.
So, this is my first question. Was this rapper at any point mentally ill and used for an interview for the fact that they were mentally ill?
No.
It's already over.
No. No, it's not. Chris, what I saw was that even though the situation, like how it became the situation, was different on both sides. Etika was in a bad mental state, and he was like just talking about the simulation, and then Keemstar was talking about it's just a simulation or whatever.
Okay.
And then with the Brandon stuff, it was Brandon asking him a question, and the rapper, I forget his name, UCBL or whatever. He was like, yeah, I have like a bullet on my head. I have like no one's coming after me.
Okay.
No one has come after me, and then 24 hours later he dies, and then like a month later from Etika he dies. But what I'm going with this is that it was a white man who quote unquote killed a black man, and the internet thinks that Brandon killed the rapper, as well as Keemstar killed Etika.
No,
so
it's
that's
hold
why
on,
I'm
hold
saying-
on. It's not even
that's
remotely.
why I'm
Hold on,
saying
it's not even remotely
that-
close. You're fucking ridiculous. Just
No,
stop.
it's-
Stop.
It is
No,
close.
it is not close.
close.
It's just because a white guy talked to a black guy and he died. That's the same.
Yes.
You're ridiculous.
A white guy talked to a black guy. A white famous guy talked to a black guy, and that black guy's dead. It happened
okay.
in both situations.
But the thing is that
It doesn't matter
Hold on,
about the mental
let me finish. So the situation being is that Keemstar was interviewing Etika, had nothing to do with Etika's death. Brandon Buckingham, this guy that he was interviewing, is a gangbanger. The dude, the most dangerous neighborhood, and people die there all the time. The dude said some shit like, "Oh, I ain't got no bullets on me. I ain't got no bullet. Nobody's gonna kill me," right? So, how does that equate to Etika saying, "I am go"? Hold on, let me finish.
Hold on, no. How? What's the relevance of that?
The relevance is that one person was cocky in the fact that they weren't going to be shot and killed in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. The other one was a mentally ill individual that believed that they had to take their own life because of the Matrix.
Right. No. You're right. In the Keemstar one, Keemstar was the cocky one, not Etika. But in the Brandon one, the rapper was the cocky one. But in the end, the black guy died because of the white man, and that's what the internet thinks. So.
All right, well, I'm just gonna do this real quick. I'm not running. I already won the debate. I already won. I'm just gonna throw this in here. There you go. Have fun.
Smaggle.
Yeah. What's up?
Thinking.
What?
Really, Smaggle? You're gonna compare it to the Etika and Keem shit?
Honestly, that was my first thought. Like, this is my one-time reaction. That's why I asked for an optics check.
Okay. Well, I'm very proud of Chris for giving you the correct optic. Don't you dare tweet that. Don't you dare.
There was something else that I wanted to do now, but...
What else did you want to do, Smaggle?
I'm just having so much fun watching Smaggle do this. This is funny to me.
What else did you want to do, Smaggle?
Smaggle, DM it to me. I won't leak it. DM it to me.
Don't chuckle. Just tell me. What else did you want to do, Smaggle? No, tell me.
Bri titled the mob. No, she asked to come in, and I thought it was funny. Smaggle, tell me, and I won't say anything. Oh, Smaggle, DM me, Brandon. Okay, yeah, dude. I love the chat is like taking this. Hold on, I want to finish this. I love that the chat is like thinking that this is like a WRL that me and Smaggle are like actually arguing. Like, I'll send it to you, though,
What is
Xylee.
it, Smaggle? Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah, I'll just snip it real quick.
I want to see it.
I'm just gonna.
I'll just say it. Brandon has more kills than Kiwi Farms at this point.
Smaggle? Oh my god. Smaggle, I swear to God, bruh. Don't you dare.
This is why it's not leaving this fucking small commentary space.
It's not leaving. I mean, he's only streaming to 329 people, and people can clip this. Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Yeah, dog.
You're an idiot.
I don't care, dude.
I know you don't. That's why you're lovable. No one
You know what,
hates
Smaggle?
you.
I love you. You are literally the #1 retard of commentary, and no one will ever take your place.
Like, that's why I actually asked Nick, but Nick didn't fucking reply to me fast enough, so I went to Chris. I felt like it was a little bit too soon, but I don't know.
You think? I mean, the guy only died a couple of days ago.
That's so funny, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey,
You think?
in my defense, people were making Dame memes of the Beirut explosion back in like 2022.
Smaggle,
days after.
I don't think
I
that's
think
a
I have a
defense.
pass.
I don't
I have
think
a
you have.
pass.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I haven't passed with this. Yep.
No,
Yep, I have a
no.
pass. People
No,
were making. people were making 9/11 fan games one day after the explosions on Newgrounds. I think I have a pass on this.
That has nothing to do with no. That doesn't give you a pass. How does that give you a pass?
That gives me a pass.
Listen, he plays Roblox. He gets a pass for being retarded. That's all there is to it.
No, that doesn't give me a pass. What
Yes,
the fuck?
it gives you a pass.
Snaggle, but your argument is retarded.
I just love it.
I know that because it was a joke. It wasn't even an argument. It was a
I
fucking
know.
joke.
I tried making it into an argument to make it funny, and then me and Smackle started to argue.
You know what? I can't with you two anymore. I'm leaving this call. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Little shits.
I can't believe that actually happened. Did we just gaslight everyone into thinking that that was real?
Well, I gave you content, Chris. You're welcome.
You always do, Spaggle. Thank you, brother.
No problem.
I'll talk to you. Oh, God. See, this is why I like Spaggle. This is why I like Smaggle. I like when Smaggle and me get along on something because we just start feeding off of each other's retardation. You guys took it so seriously. The chat's like, is Chris really making that argument? Is Smaggle really making that argument? I just pulled a LolCal Live moment, scripted and gay.
Disconnected a lot of people.
No, I'm kidding. Smaggle literally asked that as a joke, and I just ran with it.
Yeah. Where it's like, you'll see people.
Y'all just got trolled.
Sam saying based and red pilled, ironically, in videos.
Yeah.
And then they'll go in the comments and they'll.
Dumb and Dumber energy. Exactly. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of me and Smaggle. We work well together.
Have a rant about how based and red pilled they are. There have been many infamous Sam Hyde moments where he tries to harass or get the attention of people like Ethan Klein or Lena Dunham. I was just joking is a legitimate way to exonerate yourself in moments of actual miscommunication. But it's
see, the thing is that you're using the example of him like calling someone a fat pig. Like, who cares if he calls Lena Dunham a fat pig? I don't care if he calls people like bitches and shit. I don't give a fuck. Why the hell should I care? I don't get how that is like a horrible thing. I've said way worse shit. Way worse shit. I could have swore I just read something in chat. What is this? Chris Westside Tyler said you hit too hard for an audience like his. Lol. I have no idea what that means, but okay. You miss Keem molding and saturated contents kit? Oh, God fucking Christ. Oh, my God. You have got to be kidding me. I'm not. Nope. Nope, I'm not getting involved in the Keemstar DSP fight. I'm not getting involved in the Keemstar DSP detractor fight. I have no dog in that race.
It's also a perfect fallback option for when you receive criticism for a point that you are genuinely trying.
I won't be dragged in
to make. I think eating shit is awesome. What the? You like eating shit? I was just kidding. Are you stupid or something? Well, now I feel bad for being unaware of any irony going on. So in the future, I will not criticize you for anything you say.
How do you feel bad for that? If someone says, I like shit, and they're like, oh my God, what are you talking about? And they're just like, lol, do you actually believe that? Why would you feel bad about it? Why would you feel bad about it? Happy 10th anniversary of Gamergate. Things are lame and gay now. So true. So very true. So very true, Control and Chaos. No, I know, Xylee. I'm talking about the DSP detractors in Keem. I meant to say DSP detractors in Keem. I'm so used to saying DSP versus Keem because they've always like went at each other forever. I heard that the Ralpha Mail is doing a 10-year anniversary Gamergate stream.
I am now invulnerable to criticism.
So when he says this is not intended to be a hit piece,
yeah, the video is not meant to be a hit piece.
The guy Keem was arguing sounded just like okay.
It's hard to believe, especially with the context outside of the doc. People may disagree on the definition of hit piece, but it's undeniable that his video is highly critical of Sam and his approach to comedy. That's fine, criticize whoever, just don't lie about your intentions. I believe people wouldn't have had as much of a...
Wait, what is this? The killer of the rapper has been found? See, I would post that. I would post that if he didn't die like 3 days ago. I would post this. I'm saving this. Woo! I'm saving this
Happy
for
10th
something
anniversary
else.
Of Gamergate.
Okay.
Things are gay and lame now.
I'm just gonna... I'll post it another time, Shinji. I'm gonna save that for another time. I'm not laughing. I am not laughing. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm not laughing. I'm not. I didn't do it, Xylee. I didn't do it. How will this affect Tipster's legacy?
Problem with this video if Ian
I didn't do it. Yell at Shinji.
was more forthcoming about his problems with Sam. Instead, he lies about his intentions, saying that it wasn't meant to be a hit piece and he wasn't trying to make Sam look like an asshole, only to conclude the video by calling Sam an asshole.
I'm gonna make you look like an asshole.
Really?
Which isn't hard to do.
You know, I could just send it to Smaggle. Smaggle would tweet that. No, I'm not gonna do that. No.
Is that really the case?
No.
As far as who is Sam and what is he
No, Smaggle, don't post that. Do not post it. I was joking.
about, it seems like he really likes comedy, even if that means being an asshole to people. This idea of confusing people and never being genuine or only being genuine when you think it's obvious is a great game to play when the most important thing to you is never showing your taint to people. You can feel like a winner in a game that only you are playing.
This is literally, remember when iDubbbz was like, there's no way this is a hit piece. I'm not going to do a hit piece. I'm not going to do a hit piece. Writes a whole hit piece over a 9-month period. It's just ridiculous. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's out there now. It's out there in the world. I'm not retweeting that. I'm not retweeting it. I'm staying out of that.
A lot to take in regarding the Sam Hyde documentary and its creation, but I think this particular difference between Sam and Ian is worth highlighting. In the last few years or so, iDubbbz has made a big effort to be more concerned about the influence and impact of his work. In my last video, I talked about art, expression, and influence using this diagram. The point I was making was that some people become more concerned with the impact or influence of a piece of art rather than the art itself, which I think can lead to some problems. The problem that I see for iDubbbz is that his concern with his influence is probably messing with his ability to express himself. When someone as controversial as Sam Hyde tells Ian that he doesn't really care or think about how people interpret his work, I think that annoys him.
Like, can I not give a fuck about that?
It's because he wants to be Sam. That's all it is. iDubbbz wants to be as free as Sam. That's all he wants. He just wants that freedom. And iDubbbz is jealous of that freedom. If I'm going to be honest, like I'm not like this big Sam Hyde fan or anything. But it's like painfully obvious that Ian wants to have the same freedom that Sam does, not to care what other people think. Which is like actually one of the best things that you could do in life. Don't give a shit what other people think, right? Who cares what other people are saying about you? Just let it go. Or just turn around and be like, I don't give a fuck. And mean it, you know? Ian wants that. He wants that so bad that he tried to take down a guy who had that to feel better about himself. Imagine Ian and Anisa debating Smaggle live on stream. Yes. It'd be great, actually. I would love that.
That at all?
I mean, obviously you can.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be flippant or like dismissive of your question. It's just no, it's not something I think about.
Something that you think you should think about?
No, it's not.
The more iDubbbz tries to manage his image and tell his audience how to view his past work, the more hate he gets. Sam Hyde, on the other hand, seems to be doing better than ever, and without concern for how people may or may not interpret.
Fish Tank is goated. Fish Tank is goated. Even the vampire games were goated. Him and Jet have created something beautiful with this stuff.
The messaging of his comedy. Whether you'd call this a hit piece or not, it's clear the video is designed to...
You don't care whether say Chris posts the image, no balls. See, this is the thing, right? I sit back, right? And I care a little bit. Because I do not want to make a meme about somebody that died a few days ago. If it's a month from now, I have no problem with that. I'll let it go. Guy's been dead for a month. I don't even know who the fuck he is. But I'm a human. I'm a human, and I don't want to disgrace somebody by putting Tipster in the same fucking photo as them.
To be a significant criticism of Sam Hyde, an explanation as to why he was at a low point, justifiably blacklisted. These are the reasons why people...
See, that's why Sam Hyde's better than me. Like, he just doesn't give a shit. Me, I sit back and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that one thing. I can't pull the trigger on that. I have my own lines. Everyone has their own lines. The problem is that Ian's line is so far back and so easily crossed that he constantly shoots himself in the foot and gets sad or mad or complains and whines because his line constantly gets crossed all the time. It's never like a set line. Like my line, I'll make fun of everything. I'll laugh at literally 90% of shit. 90, maybe 95% of shit. But there's a certain section where I'm like, I'm going to give it a breather room and then I'll laugh at it. What Tyler meant by you go hard, his crowd is a bit soft for the stuff you say. He likes you, but his community would probably have a heart attack watching you drop the R word. R word. What about cunt? Like, what? Who cares about the R word? That's a soft community. Oh, God. But whatever. I'm not gonna care about that. But that's cool that Tyler likes what I do. I don't really know Tyler. I think I've only watched like the Demon Mama stuff. That's really it. But hi, Tyler. What's up?
I think iDubbbz was being deceptive when he said this wasn't meant to be a hit piece. Before we move on, there's one more thing worth mentioning, the Puppet Master comment. Sam Hyde has said on both PKA and in his interview with Brandon Buckingham that iDubbbz made a certain remark.
But at one point, he said at the tail end of the documentary, when he wasn't getting the footage that he wanted, he was really upset, like an angry child. Like he was pouting in his car and shit. And he said, usually, not to me, but to somebody on the crew, he said, usually I'm the puppet master in these situations.
What? See, that I wish there was a clip of that. I wish there was a clip of that. I would kill for that clip. I would kill for it. I really would. I would kill for a clip of Ian saying that. Because all we have is Sam Hyde's word, right? That iDubbbz said something like that. And Sam Hyde likes to say shit to like get people riled up, right? I would kill for that clip.
Yeah, he said 100% on God, he said that.
He even said to one of my crew members, overheard him saying during the shoot, he said, I'm usually the puppet master in these types of situations. Which is just like a mentally sick thing to say.
Five Nights at Freddy's reference. Stop.
Are you serious?
Yes.
He said, I'm usually the puppet man. That's like a sociopathic way to see the world.
This was something that a lot of people were talking about. After all of this time, Ian has finally denied this claim.
Because of the Puppet Master
thing.
Comment.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Which, by the way, for the people watching who don't understand that reference, it's just like a complete lie made up by, I guess, people who are watching all of the Sam Hyde content.
It took him a suspiciously long time to address it, more than 2 years after the fact. I can't say for sure who was telling the truth, but personally, I believe he's...
That's a little weird that it takes 2 whole years. Wasn't that clip in one of the documentaries? I'm gonna go check. Yeah, Nixon, check that out for me. But like, it took 2 years for you to dispel that rumor. You just let that go the entire time. You didn't turn around and say Sam Hyde's a fucking liar. What? 2 years to say that's not real? Why would you wait that long? Why would you allow people to believe that for 2 whole years? Why would you allow that to continue? It took 2 years for Ian to gaslight himself into believing it never happened, potentially.
Said that. As we'll continue to see, iDubbbz is, at the very least, deluded to an extent. There's also the other side to this. If Sam Hyde is the one lying here and just making stuff up to make iDubbbz look bad, that changes a lot and makes Ian look much more sympathetic. That is
I'm pretty sure it was in Sam's doc of the whole thing. I don't know if it was. I haven't watched that doc in forever. So anything involving the doc, I'm going based purely off of memory for a lot of things and what's being presented in front of me because it's reminding me of shit, right? Let me see here. What was the thing? I was reading something, and I just lost it.
Possibility, although Ian is the one who is still vindictive, and Sam is hoping that Ian will redeem himself.
And if you could say anything to iDubbbz about this Froggy Fresh banning situation, what would you say to him?
Stop being a silly Billy and get on your redemption arc.
What's your relationship like with iDubbbz nowadays?
I think that everybody deserves a chance at redemption.
You think he deserves one?
Yes.
Why isn't he? What's the issue with him?
I don't have an issue with him.
So why would he need redemption in the first place?
Well, have you seen him lately?
I don't keep up with him. I heard that his girlfriend cheated on him or something.
Well, check him out because he needs redemption.
To be honest, that documentary probably should have been a hit piece now that I know how it all ended up.
Yeah.
But it did essentially become a hit piece. You tried to explain the meta irony and that what he does isn't really comedy and it's hurtful and it's hurtful. Like you essentially did write a hit piece. A documentary isn't supposed to have like opinion or anything. It's supposed to be a situation, the subject in of themselves, and to show that subject throughout the process. If you didn't go in with an agenda, that would have been a clear-cut documentary. But you could also argue that Netflix documentaries aren't super objective, right? You could say that, but like if you're trying to do that and say I'm not trying to write a hit piece on you and then do a whole section explaining meta irony and why it's bad and why what Sam Hyde does is bad, that show that you wrote a hit piece.
True.
So I believe Sam, although it is a he said, she said kind of thing. Overall, I think it's clear that Ian was looking for a win while Sam wanted to put on a show. That's
like, hold on, that whole situation.
Although it is a he said, she said kind of thing. Overall, I think it's clear that Ian was.
This is the clip I'm talking about, where it's like post-irony, meta-irony, and this whole loop, right? This whole section of the documentary was a hit piece to show that Sam's form of comedy is harmful or some shit. It was ridiculous. Another doc, but someone from commentary laughing my ass off. Dude, he is going to do a documentary on the most milquetoast commentary channel. He'll do it. I swear to God. One of the commentary channels that are incredibly milquetoast, or a gaming commentary channel or something like that, is going to be the one that iDubbbz interviews. Not the ones that are more opinionated than the rest. Like what he used to do. His stuff was opinion-based. If anything, a creator that does content that's a lot more opinion-based, not just like, hey, I saw this article, let me read it, you know? You need somebody like, honestly, you need somebody like Tom or Nick or fuck Augie or even Keem at this point. Like people that are opinionated with their commentary. That should be somebody that you should focus on and speak to, because they resonate more with what your past self was. Talking to them would make more sense, but no, I know what he's going to do. He's going to take the safe option. He's going to choose a large gaming commentary channel, one that isn't super antagonistic, and one that isn't a lot like him or was inspired off of him, and just make a video about how commentary channels are bad. He's going to do that. I swear to God, I'm putting money on it.
Looking for a win while Sam wanted to put on a show. That's why a good chunk of people started to look at iDubbbz differently at this point. Let's go back a clip.
To be honest, that documentary probably should have been a hit piece.
This is a recent clip about the Sam Hyde documentary, and it shows us a few things. First, Ian has convinced himself that his video on Sam doesn't qualify as highly critical or a hit piece. If that's truly how he feels, that's delusional. He was trying to use Sam to make a point, not put on a show. Second, that he still holds a grudge against Sam, probably thinking he's responsible for the collapse of iDubbbz Incorporated. That's delusional as well. Third, it shows some regret for taking a softer approach to making videos.
I'm more popular than you, little bro? Yeah, that would literally be it. Well, to be honest, Keem, as much as people hate Keem, compared to fucking iDubbbz, Keem's in the stratosphere with Lolcow Live now. If you look on it physically on relevance and numbers, Lolcow Live is mogging the fuck out of like anything Ian is doing on an entertainment level. Not on viewership, but like on entertainment. Mogging him. Like what has iDubbbz uploaded recently on his main channel? Just so we could do a comparison, right? Maybe it's just an opinion thing on my end, but that's how I feel about it. Let's see here. What was the last thing he uploaded?
What?
1 month ago, transforming ugly products into valuable art. Upgrading my keychain. World's worst game. Yes, the viewership is there because he's uploading to his 7 million sub channel. But the content in and of itself is just so sad. Like, it just doesn't look fun. It doesn't look like something that, like, Trainwreck Entertainment would enjoy, right? But he's trying to do a whole new thing. He's trying not to do Trainwreck Entertainment anymore. I get that, but I don't know. I feel like on a more interesting level, even though I don't watch Lolcow anymore, they're leaps and bounds more entertaining. They're leaps and bounds more entertaining than anything iDubbbz has put out in the past year. I'll say that without an issue.
Now that part makes sense to me. As eager as some may be to convince
True, Prezi.
you otherwise, there's nothing to be gained from losing your edge. Impotent.
Bro, imagine if he interviewed Tipster. Oh. Yes! iDubbbz and Anisa, I know you watch these live streams. Anytime you're named in them, you watch them. Ian, listen to me. Listen to me, boo-boo. Okay? Shh. You and Anisa need to shut the fuck up right now and listen to me. Okay? Shh. Get Tipster. Seriously, get Tipster. Put Tipster on your documentary about how commentary channels are mean. Do it. Do it. Do it. Seriously, it would be genius. This isn't me doing it because I would just milk the ever-living shit out of that content. I want you guys to just interview him. It would be great. I would kill for that. If you put that in the documentary. Just shh. Think about it. Shh.
is not a virtue.
Don't fight me on this. Just let it happen.
Only a few months after the documentary came out, iDubbbz would run and participate in his YouTuber boxing event Creator Clash. It was an overall success. They had top-notch production, a great venue, some notable e-celebs ready to fight each other, all for a good cause, charity. The only common complaint about the first Creator Clash was that Ian banned Sam Hyde from attending the event whatsoever. Given the context of the situation, it really rubbed some people the wrong way, myself included. First, there's the recent documentary. It looked like iDubbbz reached out to Sam just to try and smear him, only for Sam to disarm things in an entertaining way. There was plenty of room for amicability after the fact, but iDubbbz had no intention to mend fences. This makes him come off as bitter and sour that he wasn't able to punk Sam the way he wanted. Then there's the fact that Sam helped train one of the fighters on the Creator Clash card, Harley from Epic Mealtime. Not allowing a trainer to be there for their fighter doesn't feel right, although I'm not familiar with the boxing culture whatsoever.
Which is kind of bullshit. If I'm going to be honest, if somebody is a trainer, usually the trainer is in the corner with the fighter, right? I don't think it's crazy for me to say that that's not... What? That's a normal thing. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like... Why would you not allow him to be there? Oh wait, I forgot. You couldn't make the documentary you wanted to make, so you made it Sam's problem.
And I think for many people this was the most important thing. It was a charity event that
Hold on, Prezi, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Anisa knows who all of us are, even me. She knows who Xylee is. She knows me. Like, she knows all of us. She hates all of us. How do I know that for a fact? You're going to have to trust me on that one.
More than 10K to in order to...
I know for a fact that woman hates our guts.
Attend only for Ian to ban him at the last...
Only Xylee knows. Well, not only Xylee. Everyone knows why she hates us.
Second, after he already bought plane tickets.
No, I didn't think I was going to be on the card, but I didn't realize at any point that I was going to be blacklisted from a charity event. I got 5 front row tickets. It was $10,000, and it's for charity. And supposedly, I'm going to be refunded this money. So I guess he wants me not around badly enough that it's worth taking away $10,000 from charity. He was going to wait until I was in Tampa to spring that news on me.
We bargained enough to where we got in. Unfortunately, we tried nonstop to get Sam in. But it wouldn't work.
If Ian simply didn't want Sam to fight at the event, that's fine. I understand he's a controversial figure and they're trying to raise money through sponsors. But turning down...
Yeah, but the sponsor in of itself is Fansly. Like, he just flashed on the screen. Like, those sponsors don't give a shit if Sam Hyde's there. They don't care. Like, like, if Sam Hyde walks into an event, are the sponsors just gonna go, holy shit, it's Sam Hyde. We need to cancel all the money for this event today. Today, we're just gonna rip all of our funding out. That is not realistic. It's petty. It's petty. It's because he doesn't like Sam, and Sam got the better of him, so he kicked him out. That's all it is. I don't even believe the sponsorship angle. If Ian brings up anything, he's like, well, we were concerned about sponsors. I don't think he ever said that, but if that was his first thought, he's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot.
Money for charity at the...
You just don't point the cameras at Sam. Be petty in that way.
Last second in order to ban the person you were recently trying to pull one over on is one of the worst PR decisions I know of. There will be more. There are going to be some people who disagree with this framing of things, so let's address them.
Noah Sampson. Oh! Patient zero of the terrible mustache gang. Patient zero.
One of the worst PR decisions I know of. There will be more. There are going to be some people...
Patient zero of the annoying leftist piece of human garbage fucking assholes that perpetrate this leftist commentary sphere. These pieces of human trash. These dead caterpillar-looking motherfuckers with their lips. Oh my god. I hate these people. Every time I see Noah Sampson and then I see people like Praise His Shadows and all these other mustache-wearing motherfuckers. Oh! There's like a part of me that gets angry. I don't like these people. I don't trust these people. They're snakes. All of them. They're worse snakes than the regular commentary community.
Who disagree with this framing of things, so let's address the main counter-argument.
For the chat, Anisa knows about ChrisTheNarc. Yeah, Shinji knows.
That Sam Hyde is a dangerous troll who would have sabotaged the event. I get why there would be this concern. Sam can be chaotic and disruptive. It's kind of what he's known for. No one can say for sure how things would have played out if he was allowed at the first Creator Clash, even though I think he would have been respectful. With that said, Ian should have allowed him to attend. If Sam truly was planning...
Curtis Connor was patient zero? That's actually... Is that true? I feel like Noah made it popular. I feel like Noah may have made it more popular, because that's how I know it, is the Noah Sampson mustache. But I appreciate the $1.99 regardless. We just a brief shill. We have 304 people in the chat so far. Been up to 350 when the ads are not going because Jesus Christ, YouTube loves to shove those in even when I turn it off. Make sure you like the stream. Let's get 100 likes, people.
On sabotaging the event, he would have made a complete fool of himself, proving Ian right about him. The reputation of iDubbbz and Creator Clash would not have been affected because the blame would have fallen on Sam, not the charity event. Then Ian actually would have had a reason to ban him from future events, and people would have been far more understanding. If Sam wasn't planning on sabotage and instead wanted to bury the hatchet, which seemed to be the case, that could have been a wholesome moment. The only situation where iDubbbz was guaranteed to look bad is the one where he turns down money for charity in order to take a firm stance on a guy he was claiming not to take a firm stance on.
Which is kind of like ridiculous. Curtis is soy, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that he's not soy. I just don't know enough about him. So I'm not going to sit here and go, that's how I know all these soy tubers. I think Noah Sampson, for me, is the progenitor of all these copycat retards. That's me. That's me personally, okay? You can say Curtis all day long. For me personally, Noah Sampson's my go-to. He's patient zero to me.
Hindsight is 2020, I suppose. Between the first and second Creator Clash, about a year apart, iDubbbz only released 2 videos not relating to those events, one dunking on Doomsday Preppers, the other of him making a Thanos fidget toy. From what I understand, Ian was focusing a lot on training for the next fight and getting the event in order during this time. It was becoming more common to see videos that were critical of iDubbbz at this point, as his audience was getting to be more and more divided. The tiny bit of content that iDubbbz made during that time was safe and stale, making it easier for people to start disliking his channel, which was once known for being the opposite of safe and stale. Even though iDubbbz had already put off parts of his audience in different ways, all he had to do to fix things was to start making some decent content again. I know he had a lot on his plate with Creator Clash 2, but think about it. He was at the low point of his YouTube career where his audience had the most amount of doubt in him and his brand than ever before. The only 2 videos separate from Creator Clash that he released in that year were passionless, childish nothings. So not only was the public's opinion of him as a person changing, but their opinion of his content was changing for the worse as well. But what about his opinion of the audience? About a month before Creator Clash 2, iDubbbz decided to be a guest on Anthony Padilla's podcast.
This podcast ruined him. Anthony Padilla killed this man. Noah Sampson is definitely where the leftist commentary started, but Curtis Connor is the stash. Okay, the stash and mullet combo. Bro, Anthony Padilla racks up bodies on this podcast. Nobody should go on Anthony Padilla's podcast. Something gets found out, and then your career's over. I've seen it with iDubbbz. At one point, I'm pretty sure that's where people found out that Amaranth was married, and that caused the whole issue. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I like Anthony. I like Anthony and Ian from Smosh. I like those guys. I'm very happy that they brought Smosh back, but like...
BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. How amplified did it get?
Gender role type shit and like an idea of how men need to be.
Depression, anxiety, stress, insecurity.
I cry a lot more often.
Allowing me to have empathy for my younger self.
Gaining empathy?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go over the history of this podcast, but look at some of these thumbnails. I was being brainwashed. He knew that I was afraid of the dark. I shouldn't be alive. I won't repeat the bad words. Many clips from this interview circulated on Twitter, most notably the official YouTube short on Anthony's channel. This was also the intro of the video, so it wasn't just the public emphasizing that part.
Another thing that ended up kind of guiding the path a little bit, I did not like...
It's crazy how Anthony Padilla also was the launch point of Chris Tyson becoming Chris. Yeah, dude, that's another person. Chris Tyson. Bro, the Anthony Padilla podcast is collecting bodies, bro. It's collecting bodies. Oh my God. I didn't even think about that, Smaggle. I didn't even think about that. I forgot that Chris Tyson released that they are now Ava on his podcast. Oh my God. I forgot about that. Oh my God.
The interactions that I had with fans. There were quite a few human beings that I interacted with.
In person?
Yeah, in person. That just sucked. They just sucked because I attracted a lot of people who sucked. Some people were, as I described earlier, were very much like antisocial, weird, basement dwellers, and, you know, the one time a month.
Dude, that's all internet fans. Everybody who is a fan of people on the internet. Not everybody, but like the majority of them. The ones that are going to run up to you and go, oh my God, it's iDubbbz. Yeah, those are going to be weird basement dwellers. The people that come up to you and go, hey, man, like your stuff, and just walk away, those are the real fans. Those are the ones that know, you know? Okay? A little bit different. Like, no shit, the crazy one is the one that's going to be like, hey, Edward F. Slur. Like, obviously, those are going to be the crazy outliers. That's not your main fan base. That was my argument last time.
That they come out of their cave is going to restock on supplies at Walmart, and they run into me, their favorite YouTuber.
What would they say? What would they do?
Things that I am certainly not going to repeat. I'm talking bad words.
If you have an audience...
Oh, God, the horror.
of millions and millions of people, you're not going to get along with or like every single one of them. Some of them are going to misinterpret the things you say. Others may have social issues, especially considering the time we live in. These things can't really be controlled or fixed by a YouTuber, no matter how they approach making content. It's not on the creator to make responsible art. It's up to the viewer to consume it responsibly. To an extent, obviously advocating for violence or something like that would be crossing a line. If artists and content creators are too concerned with what kind of influence their work has, we wind up with biased and hollow media and art. This is how iDubbbz recalls the interview roughly a year later.
In my mind, it's just like really bad communication on my part, because I started doing things that I would say are like out of character for me, like me just going on the Anthony Padilla podcast. There was a line in there that sounded like really harsh, and it was like, yeah, when the basement dwelling person like comes out and sees their favorite YouTuber, they say a slur or something.
It was much more than just a single line about basement dwellers, though. Most of the interview has to...
I love that he always downplays it. He says something stupid somewhere else, goes on his podcast a year later, and then backtracks on it. This is why nobody likes you, Ian.
To do with how much more mature and righteous he's become and how he feels about his past work as well as his fans. The entire thing comes off as a message to the haters. He never bothered to clarify himself either.
People thought, oh, he's talking about me, when
Rather
they've
than
never done that to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the vast majority of people who watch and enjoy your content would never do.
Is that Chud Logic? Why is he hanging out with Anisa and Ian? Chud, you have some explaining to do. Chud? What the fuck is this? He's working for the enemy. Chud Logic is working for the enemy. I knew he wasn't actually British. Next time Chud goes live, start spamming in his chat. You're not actually British. Start posting it. Start spam his chat next time. Just be like, I knew you weren't English. You're working for the enemy.
That.
Yeah.
But they thought that you were talking about them and saying that, you know, that they fell under that blanket.
Yeah, and I really wasn't trying too hard to even correct that when it was coming out.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I'm just like, I already felt out of my element talking about a lot of the shit that I talked about on the Anthony...
He's undercover.
video podcast.
It's your first time ever publicly talking
He's
about
already seen this, Chris, this whole video? Damn. I strictly believe that that is Chud Logic now. Now I know that's Chud. For a fact. Because who else would react to this that looks like that? Chris is encouraging... Fuck you, that's not what I'm doing. Chud knows it's a fucking meme. You're retarded, Smaggle.
But anyway.
Yeah, so yeah, it was hard, and I was like, oh man, I don't feel like I'm at all ready to be making like or issuing corrections or anything like that if I've fucked it up this bad already.
I just don't buy this narrative that iDubbbz wasn't trying to make a general statement about his content and his audience, yet didn't care enough or feel sensible enough to properly clarify himself. He was confident enough to double down on this stance a couple months after the Padilla interview with a main channel upload. This wasn't an error in communication. iDubbbz said the things he meant to got a worse reaction from the public than he was expecting and went on to regret it. For contrast, here's what iDubbbz says in general about his new direction about 6 months after the Padilla podcast.
Hate watchers or like old fans that haven't like moved on is like thinking that like all of this is like by accident. Like my choices are just like, oh, a series of unfortunate events. And it's like, that's not what it is. It's like super intentional. Like I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And here's what he says about 15 months after the Padilla podcast, after it became abundantly clear that his new direction wasn't working out.
In my mind, it's just like really bad communication on my part. I don't feel like I'm at all ready to be making like or issuing corrections or anything like that. If I've, you know.
Wait a fucking minute here. You don't feel like that you're ready to be issuing corrections and apologies? Didn't you do a whole interview with that dumb bitch from the Surfs? That dumb fat bitch from the Surfs, and then the other dumb bitch that interviewed you with her, and they were like, oh, you must apologize to the black community and must pay reparations to Jinx. Yeah, you remember that? I remember that. It's the worst fucking interview of my life. I almost had an aneurysm. Oh my god. You're not ready to do that, but you will go on a podcast. You'll go on an interview with a fucking crazy woman and say, maybe I will pay Jinx reparations for making fun of him for straight up stealing people's content. Why do you have to pay Jinx reparations for shit? You don't have to. I would never. And I'm saying this now. You can clip this out and hold this against me in the future. I will never pay reparations to any of these motherfuckers that I'm talking about. Got it?
it up this bad already.
It was a deliberate choice to flip off his audience, so to speak. A choice he now regrets because of how terribly it backfired. He can't walk all of it back because then he'll seem even more deceitful given how much time has passed. He can't fully commit to that stance because it's been ruining his career. When he takes this fence-sitting revisionist approach, he comes off as feeble and delusional. The only good move he has is to stop dwelling on this predicament, something he clearly struggles with. It's been over a year since this interview. Here's a moment that aged like whole milk.
And you've said that anyone who focuses their entire career on making edgy content, edgy jokes, eventually finds themselves wanting to do something more fulfilling with their lives.
Totally.
What is the fulfilling thing now?
I made this like fidget toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, me having like me telling jokes and just being like free and stuff. Yeah. What's more fulfilling than that, Ian? What's your answer to that, fidget toy? I like making things that make it look like zits pop out of Thanos' face. I think that's pretty cool. You know, there's nothing wrong with edgy jokes. You could stop doing them. Like, if you build a career off of it and then you just slowly transition into not doing them anymore, but still continue to do the things that you want to do, right? It's fine. But when you go from adult-centric content to straight children's content, it's a bit of a jarring situation. You know, it's a bit of a jarring change. I mean, honestly, he has a point. Look what happened to Augie. Augie's... What are you talking about? Augie's still held by the IDF. What are you talking about? Augie's still being held by the IDF. We have to pay for him to get out. And I'm the one running the GoFundMe, so donate $100,000, and I'll get Augie out of the IDF encampment.
The Thanos' colorful zits?
Yes.
The fulfilling things now are fidget toy videos along with a podcast about his wife destroying his livelihood. It's been a while since iDubbbz went on his supposed...
I will give Augie 10 grand of that. See? I'm not a selfish bastard.
Empathy arc, and what has he or anyone else gained from it? What good has come from this?
Being that way, being avoidant and not, sharing feelings or thoughts and hoarding them has led to a lot of missed business opportunities, a lot of missed personal connections. I'm trying to get better at it.
Because I don't see any signs of flourishing or getting better with communication or making personal connections. I see someone who has continued to struggle. Creator Clash 2 was a disaster for the most part. The production...
Oh, God, Creator Clash 2. That was a drama and a half. Good times. Good times. I don't care if Anisa hates me for saying that. Good times. I regret nothing. I regret nothing that I said about that time frame that I can remember. If I did say something completely out of pocket, I'll own it. But I don't believe I did. I think what I did is the sheer fact that the fighters were like, we're not doing this to get paid. We're doing this for charity. Gets paid 25 grand a purse. Kicking Froggy fresh off the card. Anisa being a whiny bitch. Her mom starting the fight with Froggy in the first place. They wanted to kick him out because he was associated with Sam. Oh, man. Man. Good times.
was still solid, but the major headline was charity boxing event loses $250,000. There are a few reasons why it did so poor financially. First, they spent too much money on the event. I don't know all of the specifics, but I do know they had about twice the amount of fighters on the...
Hey, it's those super mega guys.
Poor financially. First, they spent too much money on the...
It's Matt and Ryan. The two guys that Lex keeps accusing bullshit of. Lex up, dog. Hope your life with Ethan's going great. I wish no harm to you. I think you're a crazy bitch, and your boyfriend sucks ass. I hate him, genuinely. I don't think I can fix you. I don't think I can fix you, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I don't think I can fix you, sweetie. It's just not possible. Sorry, lady. Sucks to suck.
Event. I don't know all of the specifics, but I do know they had
Rip Bozo.
About twice the amount of fighters on the card than before. They had e-celebrities there other than the fighters to host and make appearances, although I'm not sure if or how much they were paid. The venue was twice the size, and they held a gala as well. I'm not sure exactly how much money they brought in, but either way, Creator Clash 2 wound up costing more than it made, and it definitely cost more to run than the first event. Second, they did a poor job promoting the event. It wouldn't have taken much effort for someone like iDubbbz to draw more attention. He made 2 videos about it in January, and the event was in April. He might have mentioned it on Twitter, but he really should have made at least a main channel video about it a week or 2 before the event. The fighters didn't do much to promote it either. There wasn't much beef or drama, which is often a big part of what draws a crowd to a fight. Manufacturing drama is lame, but I think it's a bit different when you're literally...
I love that he used the manufacturing drama, and it's just a picture of Boogie dressed like a fucking clown. That was a banger sneak diss, bro. Banger sneak diss, Glitch.
scheduled to punch someone in the face for the sake of entertainment. More interactions between the fighters leading up to the event would have gone a long way. Although when one fighter tried talking trash, he wound up getting removed from the card, which brings us to the next reason why Creator Clash 2 failed, the way they handled the Froggy Fresh situation.
How am I the simp? How am I the simp? I want to know. Is it because it's a woman? It's because it's a woman, isn't it?
For those who aren't familiar, Froggy Fresh, now known as Tyler Cassidy, is a YouTuber who makes music, often in a humorous way. He was going to be fighting at Creator Clash 2, but was cut from the fight only a few weeks beforehand. There are a lot of details to the Froggy.
What they did to Chris Raygun, bro. Chris Raygun. Okay, here's like conspiracy theory time. Tinfoil hat Anisa. I don't know if this is real. I'm doing it as a joke because I know you watch everything that we do talking about you and you get pissy. Okay, this is called a joke. Well, I kind of believe it, but listen, okay, what they did to Chris Raygun was brutal, and I'm 90% sure Ian did that on purpose. You go from fighting a 5'2" dude who's like 130 pounds to like a 6'3" motherfucker, like a huge motherfucker, right? I feel like that was done on purpose. Don't shoot me, Anisa. Don't you shoot me.
Fresh debacle, so I'm just going to go over some of the key points and show some of the more recent things that iDubbbz and Anisa has had to say about them. Here's the main reason that Ian gave for cutting Froggy from the fight.
The main reason Froggy was kicked from the card was for collaborating with Sam Hyde. And, for anyone who's been following the story, that's, fairly obvious.
That's so pathetic. I remember when they were arguing with everybody saying it's not because of Sam Hyde, it's not because of Sam Hyde, it's not because of Sam Hyde, it's not because of Sam Hyde. And Harley's like, it's not because of Sam Hyde, it's not because of Sam Hyde, it's not because of Sam Hyde. And then Ian comes out and goes, it was about Sam Hyde. We totally just lied the entire time. Should probably watch everyone but you, Chris. You would be shocked, Vincent. You would be genuinely shocked, Vincent.
Many people thought it had to do with a lighthearted joke that Froggy made about Anisa's OF account.
On April 15th, if I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anisa's OnlyFans.
And I wouldn't doubt if that was at least part of the reason why they kicked him.
Unfortunately, he's been perpetuating a narrative that it's about OnlyFans or that it's about Anisa's mom, and that's extremely deceptive.
iDubbbz said that it had nothing to do with Froggy getting kicked, but Anisa's mom was on Twitter getting involved in the drama, and we've seen that the whole OF thing still upsets Ian.
I hope it's about replacing the imp. So they already had like a nickname for him too. That just shows that they already had some form of like maliciousness behind it of removing him. Again, because of the Sam shit, like iDubbbz said.
You don't want other people to be uncomfortable because you're there. Like, you don't get the vibe, all right? The vibe is sex workers and fighting, I guess. And you don't like the sex workers part.
So I'm pretty sure that had an impact on their decision. However, now they're saying he got kicked because he wasn't showing up for training.
Yeah, there were a lot of very justifiable reasons.
Yeah, including like not showing up to training.
Yes.
Froggy Fresh addressed this on Twitter. Imagine over a year later talking in your Secret Dungeon podcast, you're too cowardly to publicly broadcast, still coping and lying saying the reason I was kicked out of your boxing event was because I didn't show up for training. Did that info come from the alcoholic boxing promoter your business partner set up as my coach who couldn't find me someone to spar or was too scared to spar himself that I was given permission to get rid of? The guy who was 1.5 hours drive one way that was getting paid under the table, telling me not to let the gym owner know he was getting paid because he was lying, saying that he was training me for free for a charity event? The guy who would cancel when I was in my car ready to drive 1.5 hours early as shit because he had diarrhea? Imagine doing a 1.5 hour podcast crying about your haters, lying a year later when no one fucking cares. P.S. Not all of your haters are incels. Stop the cap. iDubbbz and Anisa do use that as a deflection rather often. The funny thing is that most people who clown on their relationship probably have more relationship experience than both of them put together. They're able to see the problems that iDubbbz and Anisa are blind to. Also, it doesn't make sense that iDubbbz didn't bring up Froggy not showing up to training in his video. I don't think that Froggy was perfect in all of this. It does look like he dropped the ball at least once when it came to communication and dodged responsibility.
He uploaded a Twitter video to explain the context for why he didn't respond to Anisa.
Anisa's concern text of hope everything's going okay was a way for her to try to manipulate the situation, to try to do further investigation into my friendship with Sam Hyde.
He thinks this text message is manipulation. No, Froggy, we wanted to solve the problem.
And that sucks, but as someone managing a boxing event between YouTubers, Ian needs to be able to handle situations with people he doesn't always get along with. If working with Froggy really was that uncomfortable for Ian, then he could just exclude him from future events. But finding a replacement fighter under such short notice was a potentially dangerous move physically. Chris Raygun, 5'5", was scheduled to fight Froggy Fresh, 5'2". Chris wound up fighting William Haynes, Froggy's last second replacement, who was 5'10".
Bro, 5'10", bro. 145 to 130. You know what's kind of like super cringe as well? And I hated this the last time. Is that they put star signs in like people should give a fuck. Like anyone should give a fuck what their star signs. I hate that shit so much. Retards care about that.
8 inches taller than the person Chris was expecting to fight. Finding an appropriately sized YouTuber, physically and in terms of popularity, who is competent and willing to fight under such short notice is not easy. Then there's the fact that Froggy trained with Sam Hyde, which also contributed to his ban. Froggy's association with Sam came as a surprise to Ian, but it would have been good for the event. It's good to have antagonists and rivalry and competition. That's what sells tickets, especially in something like boxing. This response video made iDubbbz look unprofessional and petty because it was. If you exclude people who, 1, don't agree with adult entertainment, and 2, enjoy drama from your social media boxing event, then you're going to be left with a much smaller audience in the world of YouTuber boxing, of all things. Ian also had this to say about...
Which, again, yeah, the whole point of promotion and the whole reason people give a shit about a fight in general, and this is not just repeating his thing, but, like, that's... but that's, like, literally the whole point of promoting a fight is to have conflict. Conflict, drama, leads to the fight being more interesting. I think Conor McGregor did it the best at anybody, where he would pick fights with the fighters, say horrible shit about them. Like, an example is like, was it Ryan Garcia that fought Logan Paul? Was it Ryan Garcia that fought Logan Paul, where he kept posting photos of, like, his fiance with different women? Am I getting the right fighter? I always forget that fighter's name. What the fuck was his name? But that whole fight was super hype. That fight was hype as shit. Because every day this dude was just posting a photo. Hey, your girlfriend slept with this guy. Hey, your girlfriend slept with that guy. It became a whole event. That event was huge. He lost. Dylan Dennis. Thank you, Dylan Dennis. But, like, that shit was awesome. You not having any sort of promotion or any sort of interesting aspects to it is just so ridiculous. It's just a waste of everybody's time. It's like, oh, we're just going to watch people hit each other. There's no real hate. There's no real anything. Uh-oh. The Tipster private Twitter account's making its rounds. Oh, no. What do you mean it was high? I was, bro, what are you talking about? Every day Twitter was talking about, like, holy shit, Logan Paul's fucking wife is fucked Bill Nye the Science Guy. That was way more interesting than anything Creator Clash did. Okay?
Froggy's take on OF models.
I don't think
and you could also use, like, WWE examples. The fighters will create drama, and that drama's fun for the audience, and the audience gets excited for when they fight the other wrestlers.
Froggy respects.
It's the Big Smoke account? Yeah, uh-oh. I'm just, yeah. Oh, I was trying to keep that under the down low. I was trying so hard. I was the first person to find out about this that I am aware of. I don't know if I was, but I felt like I was in the overall sphere. Yeah, Tipster's private account's being found out as we speak. Shit. Yeah, I'm not going to elaborate further. I can't access the private account. I don't have screenshots of the private account. I do have responses from his mods to the private account that are really funny. You want to take a break? We'll take a short break. All right. I'll show you guys the screenshots. Okay? I'll show you. Boop. Boop. So, it's only 2. There's more, but I only have these 2 that are the most impactful. This is Tipster's private Twitter account known as It's Biggie Smokes. You can look it up yourself. You're not getting in there. It's like Fort Knox. Trust me, I've already tried. So, I was sent these, and they were like, hey, I think Tipster's bitching behind a private Twitter account. And I'm like, oh, how do you know that? Where's the proof? Chasing Dopamine is the mod that banned me and Leon from restreaming Tipster's content. With King that one. Was King there? Leon, was King there when we were restreaming Tipster's content and the mod was like fighting with us? Yeah, so this is one of Tipster's capos. Another goth woman. Literally, they just want you to react. That's what these people feed on. And they're getting pissed you're not giving it to them. I wouldn't say pissed. Oh! Hey, this is the thing, Dopamine. Just to kind of like let you know, because I know you A-log this stuff and what a... Oh, and one of the Tipster people are gonna go running. It was found on Kiwi Farms. That's even better. But like, I'm just gonna say it. Nobody really cares about Tipster, right? Nobody cares. We care because it's funny. It's like a regular lol cow. It's like anything. You have people that are obsessed with Chris Chat or like laughing at Chris Chat or laughing at World of T-Shirts or fucking Pamper Chew or Tony Chase or any of these people. Nobody's upset that Tipster doesn't give us content. We stopped talking about him for a while until he re-uploaded all of his shit. And then we were like, lol, he's back. He's back. Like, come on, Dopamine. I just find it funny. It's not a matter of like, oh my God, I am so invested in what Tipster's going to do next. It's just funny to me. Oh my God. This is a real photo, by the way. 100% real. 100% real. Definitely a real photo, not photoshopped at all. Now we have the next one. This is Jazz Dog. Now, Jazz Dog is the guy that made that horrible Tipster intro song where it's like, Tipster, a good dude. Hold on, let me play that song for you. I'm just gonna let you listen to this. This is one of his mods.
Tipster, a good dude. Tipster, a good dude. Tipster, a good dude. Tipster, a good dude. Tipster, a good dude.
So that guy wrote that and made that and mixed that. Okay. Just let that sink in, okay? This one's my favorite one. This one's my favorite one. This one's my favorite. My absolute favorite. I love this one so much. I'm doing my ASMR voice now. This is my favorite tweet I've ever seen in my entire life. I have no idea what it's in context to. No idea. You aren't a failure. You succeeded in weeding out a toxic community and creating a much better, tight-knit one instead. So my first response to that, Jazz Dog, is it's not really tight-knit or better. It's a full-blown echo chamber. Okay? Like, full-blown echo chamber. To the haunting degree that people were going into the chat and being like, Tipster, I'm happy you're doing drama again. And he was like, I'm not doing drama. We don't do drama here. And then they would be banned like in less than a minute. Okay? Less than a minute they would be banned for even saying that. So this whole in weeding out a toxic community and creating a tight-knit one, this is the worst part, Jazz. You're not congratulating him on having a successful career in the first place. You're congratulating him on creating an echo chamber. So, good job, guys. Good job. Good job, Jazz Dog. You guys are really good. You guys are really good at making him feel better. I have no idea what this was in context to. It was deleted, and this one's limited. So we won't know what either one of these are. But I would kill to see what's in there. I would kill to see what's in there. I really would. I would kill it. I would kill for it.
Sex workers, I think he has some really old, tired opinions about people.
I don't want to pull up his Kiwi Farms thread, Shinji, unfortunately. My thing is, like, I don't want to pull up that thread in particular because I know that in that thread there are certain things like the mod information and everything. So if Kiwi Farms found it first, great. You know, I'm not gonna take credit for that. I just said that because I wasn't sure.
People who do this work, I think he has a lot of weird opinions as well about masculinity and shit.
This shows a more cultural and political side of iDubbbz. In terms of his career and image, he went from carefree to putting all of his eggs in the political.
Would I like to see a comment under a Tipster video? Sure. Let's see here. What? Oh my God. What the hell is this? I know the iDubbbz video is long, so we're taking short little breaks. This is apparently a comment under a tipster video. I don't believe. But you know what? Leon wouldn't gas me up like this. What is this? Little Froakie? Oh my god, Little Froakie. Oh no, there's more. All right, after this. Does YouTube not take offsite behavior into account for reporting? Because this is insane. Oh, wait a goddamn minute. Are they trying to do a flagging campaign? The fuck? Fat. Ugly. Everyone makes mistakes. It's how you make it right that matters. Bro, your mistake was like defending Vosh's lolicon folder, bro. Like, that is a horrible mistake. Ooh! Oh! Here's one about Mango. Mango is fucking stupid because you cannot drift your own sexuality, and coming out to people toy turst is way different than a bunch of freaks posting on the internet to shame and accuse you of being a chaser. Nobody... Wait, what? And coming out to people is way different than a bunch of freaks posting on the internet. Well, we didn't do that. None of us did that. Lux Gamma, retard, that is responding to Tipster. Nobody outed your sexuality, Tipster, that are detractors of yours, if we want to play the DSP labeling game. Nobody did that. Nobody outed your sexuality. You know what's funny is that people knew for weeks, months, even, right? And nobody said anything because nobody cared. Nobody cared if you were pansexual. Nobody cared. Like, it doesn't matter to the overall conversation that you're a fucking idiot. Why would any of us blast that you're pansexual? Like, I don't care. You could be sucking dick on the side, and if your wife was cool with that, I'd make fun of it and be like, bruh, all these years, he's like, I'd never cheat on my wife, but I'll cheat on my wife with a man. Like, that would be funny. Your own people outed you. Maeve outed you. None of us did. We all knew for months, and none of us said anything. None of us. Diorio didn't even know until the day of. This narrative that we spread that is ridiculous. Exactly. No one cared. No one cared. Even the Spurgs who saw it didn't care that you were pansexual, Tipster. So this whole narrative of that we spread your pansexuality is total bullshit. Okay? Just block these people. Well, duh. He's been doing that. You seriously just need to block all these people and stop responding to them or retweeting them. Retweeting them? This person can't write for shit. They can't make content out of you if you don't bite the hook. They can't fill your mentions if they're blocked. Absolutely, we can make content off of stupid opinions. It's like really easy. I can't believe you outed Tipster. It was all me, Barry. I'm the one that outed it. No, I didn't. Nobody did. No one cared. Bro, we can make content off the Tipster saying stupid shit. It's like really easy. It's like really easy because he says stupid shit. And it's funny. Oh, Lumi, the person that was being hit on in the Discord that we read over. People will often treat you in ways that you don't deserve. This is often rule rather than the exception. We all could do in return is focus on the people who deserve. Those who actually enrich our lives. Yeah, Keffels really enriched your life, bro. They really did. What is Froakie doing? Tipster deleted all but... No! 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 They're watching the stream, bro. No! No! It happened at 5:57. Oh, we were way past that. We're way past that. Okay. So they're not watching the stream. Thank God. Kind of funny if they were. No! He deleted all but one. No! I guess we'll never know. Unless one of the mods turn on him. I guess we'll never know what was said in there. I guess we'll never know. I don't think Tipster's watching, let me be clear. Okay? But we lost something. Damn it, Froakie! I was trying my hardest to find a way in there. Months of planning. I had a whole diorama set up on how I was going to infiltrate that fucking Twitter account. And you pissed it all away! I'm kidding. I literally had no plan to get in. I was not about to gay up Tipster's private Discord account. I'm so mad. I'm like so mad, bro. I'm seething. The sacred texts are gone. I'm seething. I'm seething. I have screenshots for you if you want them. Bullshit, Verse. You do not have those screenshots. Bullshit. You do not have the private screenshot. Yeah, fuck you. You piece of shit. There's no way out of everybody, Tipster would let you in there. Nobody. Oh, I'm so sad. Let's read this comment. Do you know the difference between what you think is political drama and actual politics? Not liking somebody's take or personas is just drama, man. Just being a D and being thrown out of an assembly is just drama. True! But do you even know what bills are going into the Cali House this season? Do you have the slightest idea? Bro, he's getting mogged. How the fuck did I get Tipster? How the fuck did Tipster block my banned Twitter account? If account is suspended, you can still hit the 3 little buttons and hit block on suspension. Things that actually affect you, affect what are allowed and not allowed to do. Things that affect and what you need to pay to state and what state needs to pay you. Think about it. You can cover actual politics that affects you and your viewers instead of random Twitter drama. Bro, this comment mocked him. This comment mocked the shit out of him. Oh my God, that's brutal. That's brutal, kid. You got molested. That's brutal, kid. You got molested. Brutal. Brutal. Absolute brutality. Absolute brutality. I'm so sad right now. Damn it.
Correct basket.
When do you think the stigma around your controversial videos will end and you can make more? Well, I don't think it's going to end. What I'm noticing is that, like, as long as we continue to progress how we're progressing, like, we're just becoming more socially aware and careful about what we say things or who's feeling.
Why do you care?
We're hurting and shit like that. And I think the people who are like trying to ignore it or pretend that it's not happening or pretend that like it doesn't have to be that way, it's like you're seeing it in every like developed nation. There isn't like any like society that we're seeing that's just so different. That's like, oh yeah. Like, it's complete anarchy in Australia. They say whatever the they want, and they, you know, do this and that. It's like, no, like...
That's because Australia sucks! America #1. Ooh! That's because Australia sucks! They can't have guns. They have a nanny state. America #1, bitch.
People are doing what they're doing.
I don't like framing the changes with iDubbbz as political, but that has become a part of his image, one that he's chosen to lean into more and more over the past few years. I could keep going over the Froggy Fresh drama because there are a lot of smaller details, but
Bro, this guy.
I'm more interested in the other things that Ian said in that video. For one, the way he talks about Creator Clash 2. Keep in mind, this is a month before he announces that the event lost $250,000.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. A brief update, I am healed from Creator Clash 2. It was a success.
In what way was Creator Clash 2 a success? Because now they recall it as an emotional gut punch that they'll never get over.
We really believed in what we were doing, and then to be greeted with pirating to the point where like we couldn't even pay back what we had like put on the table to put on the event.
Yeah.
Like was such a emotional gut punch that I feel like I'm never going to get over. I feel like
Do you not realize that every single paid event is going to have piracy? Like I get it, you guys put like a lot of things into motion. Did you not research like the amount of money that these events make versus pirated aspects of it? Like I watched it in a Discord. I pirated the shit out of it. I didn't pay for that shit. But like I don't give a fuck saying that. I watched the first Creator Clash in a Discord with Core Master. I don't give a fuck. But like that's something you have to take into account. I pirate every UFC fight. It's an expected loss. And then she goes, it's a gut punch, an emotional gut punch that people would do this. Bro, what? bro, it's something that's going to happen. Every time there's a paid event, there's going to be piracy. Like, that's something you should be expecting. And you should budget for that expectation. Yeah, it's a factor you include in your operation costs.
We decided we were going to fall onto our, like, dullest, rustiest sword and spin around 10 times.
Yeah.
But we're sitting there waiting for the doctor to come in to stitch Ian's eye up. And we're trying to digest the idea that we, like, only sold 50K pay-per-views. And we looked at each other and we were like, do you want to just, like...
I clipped that. Yes, send it to Dana White. I don't give a fuck. Bald, short bastard. I don't give a shit what Dana White has to say.
Like,
ourselves?
Like, literally. Like, there was, like, that actual like, thought.
You guys actually thought about killing yourselves because people fucking pirated your goddamn event. No, you did not say that. You did not.
At each other and we were like, do you want to just, like,
ourselves?
Like, literally.
Why would you say that out loud? Like, I get it. There's moments in your life where you're like, oh, Jesus, what if I just ended it right now? But, like, I wouldn't say that on a podcast. I wouldn't say that on a podcast. Especially when you're being fucking watched like a hawk about how bad you fumbled this entire situation.
Like, there was, like, that actual like, thought.
It was a success.
Calling Creator Clash 2 a success is a lie. It was bad for their image, it did horribly financially speaking, and it's something they still stress over today. They should have sold it when they had the chance.
I wonder if you guys can, like, sell Creator Clash almost and get a payday that way.
Well, we've been offered.
Already?
Yeah. By Fox.
Fox?
Well, yeah, we said no.
Was it 7 figures?
How much was
I think so, yeah, 7 figures.
Why would you say no to me? Oh, wait, hold on. Is this when they were thinking about selling it?
It did horribly financially speaking, and it's something they still stress over today. They should have sold it when they had the chance.
I wonder if you guys can, like, sell Creator Clash almost and get a payday that way.
Well, we've been offered.
Already?
Yeah. By Fox.
Fox?
Well, yeah, we said no.
Was it 7 figures?
Why would you say no to that? It's just stress. It's stress on your guys' lives. The promotion is a pain in the ass. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you decline a 7-figure payout? Like, I get it. It's your baby and everything. I know you care about that. But in this same interview, you talk about how you guys haven't made money for, like, 2 years. Did you see this clip by Shogun? Yep, no, I saw the clip. I saw it. Don't worry, Shiji. I'm very much aware of the clip. I think it said Fox. I think probably Fox Sports or something.
How much was
I think so, yeah, 7 figures.
Like low 7 figures. Can you tell me the number?
A few of them.
I mean, I don't know what it was specifically. It didn't come directly to us. It came to one of our business partners, but we said no, and we're never going to do anything like that just because it's too special.
It loses its soul.
You guys,
it's too special. You guys blew all the money on a gala. You guys blew money on a gala. More expensive shit for no reason instead of just keeping the status quo of what you were doing before. Like, who cares? Like, yeah, Fox Sports is owned by the conglomerate that owns Fox News, but, like, no, wait. Fox is now owned by Disney. Fox News is not owned by Disney. They had a separation between the two because Fox News didn't want to be owned by Disney and they moved out. But, like, I'm pretty sure Fox, 20th Century Fox, is owned by Disney. Am I right about that? They had a merger. Am I crazy? Why do I remember that? August 10, 2010, Disney announced reorganization and rebranding of its television studios, with 20th Century Fox Television being subsumed by 20th Television. Distributor 20th Television being folded into Disney ABC Domestic Television. Yep. Yep. I was right. So Disney offered the money.
Do need to be making money, though. You understand that, right?
See ya, Enla.
Right.
We lost $250,000 on the event.
He could have made over $1 million and easily shifted focus back to his YouTube channel, saving his financial situation and beyond. There's also the
watch your stream now entertain me before I go back to editing. The Tipster private account got leaked.
Way that iDubbbz talks about Anisa here, which I think is disingenuous.
Let me just say, Anisa is just trying to exist. You know, she doesn't want anything to do with the drama. She doesn't want anything to do with the shit. And I have brought a lot of it into her life.
But Anisa isn't just trying to exist. She's a public figure seeking to make a living off of lust and
Dude! Apparently Tipster just tweeted on his private account about 30 minutes ago. Tipster, please, buddy. Like I'm pretty sure you're watching in a Discord right now with Chasing Dopamine. What's up? How you doing? Come on for me. I'm a lot more fun. I just want to straight up steal you from Tipster because I think it would be the funniest shit ever. Anyways, listen, Tip, stop tweeting. Just stop tweeting on private. Say it with your chest. Fight us. Come on, buddy. You've done blood sports before. You know how this works. Come on, buddy. Don't be afraid.
Attention, she's a public figure who's married to another public figure.
I don't know what's on there. Obviously, I can't see the DM, but somebody is checking the social blade of the account, and it tweeted again 30 minutes ago.
And as we'll talk about more later, she's someone who is intentionally provocative.
It's kind of like when you go fishing and you go to a new lake and you're like, I'm just going to like throw out like a grasshopper that I found on the ground and just a big old trout.
Saying that Anisa is just trying to exist is bullshit. Ian also tries to attribute his recent changes to himself rather than Anisa, something which he goes back and forth on.
Unfortunately, a lot of people who think that I've changed or call me a or whatever, they've decided, instead of saying that I've changed and that I'm the decider of my future, it's that Anisa has changed me.
Do you feel like this conversation today, this interview, would be different if you had never gotten into the boxing stuff?
Yeah, it would be. I think I'd be less vulnerable in general. And I'd say Anisa has been very instrumental. I think most guys can say that about their partners, is like they're going to have insight that you cannot have about yourself.
She happened to be a family therapist and a trauma therapist, and Ian just came up in passing and she was like, oh, do you want some homework? She was like, would he be willing to come in? And at the time he definitely wasn't.
Do you want some homework? Thank you for the direct donation, Verst. $5 from Verst. If they cared about charity, surely Fox would have grown the product and more money would have been raised for charity than Creator Clash has. That is true, Verst. That is true. You know, they could have made a pretty penny off of that, donated a good portion of that to charity, and the event would start making more money for charity because it has more promotional, like a legacy promotional machine backing it up. You know, if they really cared. I see where you're coming from.
You know, they hold the mirror up and they say, this is this thing that you're doing or whatever is very ugly. You might want to think about that.
And so she started giving me homework. And at the time, he wasn't very open to it. He was like, yeah, whatever. And then I found you and we started watching you, and you kind of bridged the gap for him where he was like,
started watching you. Wait, is this guy is this guy like a knockoff Dr. K? Is this guy just a knockoff Dr. K? Hold on, I'm just checking something. Okay, no, that didn't happen. Okay, we're fine. We're fine.
oh, this is what therapy kind of is.
Instead of saying that I've changed, it's that Anisa has changed me.
This is a big part of the reason why Anisa gets so much hate. iDubbbz gives her a lot of credit for helping him reinvent himself, but then they both get upset and confused when people attribute his change in personality to Anisa. It's a have your cake and eat it too kind of situation for her, where she wants credit for Ian's content as well as his recent maturation until she realizes or remembers that most people hate the new direction. She has clearly had a direct impact on Ian and his career. This brings us to the most important reason why Creator Clash 2 failed, and it may be obvious at this point. Ian's reputation as a YouTuber. None of the stuff from a year prior with Sam Hyde was resolved. It actually got more tense with the whole Froggy Fresh situation.
Yep, that's when Critical got involved, bro. When Critical got involved, that's how you knew the event was fucked. Because they're friends with Charlie. And if Charlie's coming out going against his friends, that's not... Ooh! Oof! That was a bad sign.
Interview with Anthony Padilla from the month before only aggravated fans further, understandably so. He hadn't been making videos for a while. Even promotions for Creator Clash were few and far between. He and Anisa started to go on podcasts more, opening themselves up to new kinds of criticism. People were, once again, more...
Oh, God. Every time they went on the H3 podcast, it was like pulling nails. The minute they did an interview with Hassan, it was pulling nails. It was just, oh, God, that fucking... That world tour of Ian flogging himself to death for all of his past sins on the internet. Oh.
More unsure about iDubbbz than ever. The bad financial decisions, the lack of marketing, and the Froggy Fresh situation wouldn't have swayed public opinion so much if Ian hadn't been digging...
Yeah, I don't think... Did Charlie apologize to them? Did Charlie apologize to them? I don't remember that. That seems... Maybe he did apologize later on. But I feel like at the same time, he understood that it was bullshit that Froggy did get kicked. That was an important contention. I remember that much.
his heels in for the last few years, growing more defiant towards his supporters. Overall, Creator Clash 2 and the way it was handled was probably the single most devastating thing to happen to the iDubbbz brand. If they would have taken a more laissez-faire approach, they would have been fine, and they know that.
When you work with people, you have to accept that you're inviting chaos. When you try to like grab onto it and control it, you're only asking for pain on your end and pain for like the event. And sometimes you really do have to make the call of like, I have to take my hands completely off and just like accept that I'm working with unpredictable people. And I don't like unpredictable people. Period. I just don't.
iDubbbz and Anisa's egos constantly get in the way of things. They seem to understand at least some of the problems they have, but refuse to acknowledge them in an honest or meaningful way. It would be—
Yes, this is called the lol cow gene, where where they are recognizable of those things, but continue down the same path of just destroying themselves. Charlie even apologized to Dark Viper. What? When the fuck did he do that? Oh, right! You're so right, Vincent. Holy shit, I forgot that Charlie had apologized to the most manic piece of garbage on the platform. Holy fuck! I forgot about that.
Be difficult for them to admit that their failures are better understood by the people who stop.
Anisa probably nagged Charlie in DMs until he apologized. Yeah, I could probably see that. I could see her being like, Charlie, you're giving the commentary channels what they want, Charlie, you have to stop. That one tweet was enough to destroy this entire reputation of this entire event. Charlie, please.
Stopped watching their content by the people they detest. So Ian doubles down. Shortly after Creator Clash 2, iDubbbz would apologize for much of his past content and unlist all of his content cop videos. For an apology, this video is titled in a strange way. I Miss the Old iDubbbz is a title that directly addresses the fans, as most of the video does. He apologizes to Tana and others he's made critical videos on, but it's more of a message to the fans than—
I know she texted some people. Very angry text messages.
an apology for anyone
very angry text messages.
Familiar, iDubbbz made a video, a content cop on Tana, a storytime YouTuber who said, I hope iDubbbz loses all of his
subscribers, please!
And breaks both of his legs. In the video, he walked up to Tana at a fan meet.
No, that is all she does, Ahsoka. So, if you read the article, right, there's an article on Anisa. I wish I remembered where it was. There was an article written by, like, a small, like, influencer, news site, or whatever the fuck the name of it was. And it was about how Anisa, like, cultivates and feeds the trolls on purpose so that she could get more viewership, which, fine, totally fine. You know, some people do that, and they do it on purpose, right? But the problem is that Anisa hasn't stopped doing that. And there's a difference between being a edgy titty streamer versus running a multi-million-dollar company. Was it Kotaku? No way. I don't remember that one, Beazle. Was it Kotaku? Because I remember it was about how her mom was moderating her chat being a titty streamer. I think the title was how I moderate my daughter's chat on Twitch or something. I don't remember the title. It was something so weird.
Up and dropped the hard R when they were getting their picture taken together. This is
but like my point. Let me finish my point before I start getting distracted. The thing is, right, is she cultivated and she's used to the fame of feeding trolls. That's even funnier. I did not remember it was Kotaku. Thank you, Beazle. But like she grew off of feeding the trolls. The problem is that now, instead of being a titty streamer, where there's really no risk, it's just you're printing money with your tits out and pissing off a group of people that are going to keep watching you so you get more views, versus I now run a multi-million-dollar charity fund, and pissing off the trolls is not good for the business. Like, acknowledging those people puts that at risk.
Because Tana had complained about Ian's use of the N-word, while it turns out she had used it in a much worse context. That and Ian's other critical videos are what he's apologizing for.
Also with the apology.
He do reaction videos because Dark Vader changed his mind, yet he's still doing reaction content to this day. He can't be bothered arguing. Yeah.
It's like, I wasn't necessarily looking at...
As much as I like Charlie, is like, from what I understand, right, like I've just heard nothing but nice things about him. I kind of believe that he's a little bit of a coward when it comes to certain things. Like, certain arguments that are too difficult, he's a little bit of a coward. I'll be brutally honest. Like, the debate with Sneeko and a few other things, like, kind of, like, push that to my forefront. I don't hate Charlie. I have nothing really against Charlie. I just think he's kind of, like, cowardly on certain things. But that's just me.
Out for the feeling.
Like, I still think he's goated in a lot of ways, but I think when it comes to, like, hard conversations, that may or may not affect him and his content creation and career on YouTube, he will, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, he loves, he wants to maintain what he's built so bad that he's afraid of pushback, saying something that isn't outside of the, outside of the realm of what is acceptable to his audience. You know, like he won't push the boundary of what his audience will be mad about or his audience won't agree with, you know, especially when it comes to drama related content. I wouldn't say that about like movies or anything, but like something that involves like real world implication or opinions on that or real world opinions on a drama. He kind of doesn't want to push the boundary, you know.
Of people who have been watching and enjoying my content.
Yeah,
other content.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Sakura puts it great. Charlie's good for goofy dramas, but when it comes to serious dramas, no, you shouldn't take him seriously. Glazing and sipping. I literally just said that Charlie's a coward. Like, what?
I was like, I just need to focus my attention.
But I don't hate the man. I don't have, like, vitriolic criticism for him. I just think he's a bit of a coward. He's afraid of his audience.
On the people that I maybe hurt.
He was thinking about the audience. He continually brings them up throughout the apology. He did focus on them, just in a patronizing way.
I've realized that I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel, and I've also created a culture of apathy and, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave.
How did this indoctrinate anyone? Serious question. Did iDubbbz's content indoctrinate all of you to have, like, edgy humor? Did any of you at any point go, oh, iDubbbz said the N-word? I'm going to start saying it, too. Did anyone ever think that in their entire life that's, like, a normal person? No. I don't think anyone watched iDubbbz go, damn, that white boy said the N-word. I could say it, too, now. I don't get it. I don't get this indoctrination bullshit that he's pulling. I don't get it. Yeah, the indoctrination line is just ridiculous. I don't get that. Indoctrination means that you purposely, like, groom these people. Or not groom, the word grooming is a little rough. That you essentially change their minds and makeup on the idea of what they can and can't say. Which humans are not stupid. They know entertainment versus something that's fake. It's just, I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get it at all. I don't get how that's indoctrination. He made a slur. He made N-word F slur. Is that indoctrinating people to make them want to say that? I don't think so. More pressing issues if he was the one to radicalize you? Yeah, but he was never radicalizing anyone. He was just like, I don't give a shit that I say this. That's all he says. He's like, in all of his videos, he's like, I don't care if you get mad at me saying this. I just said it. So what? Like, that's it. And the context argument was a good argument. It was. Like, I'm not going to take that away from him, but he's trying to retcon that now.
I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, my audience.
And he does try to take the supposed feelings of his audience into consideration by projecting his apathetic and insecure attitude.
Because I was a nasty, apathetic, insecure person. Now that I don't feel like it represents me and I want to
I feel like a lot of people are like black-pilled on humanity. I try to be a little more like hopeful. I try to be more hopeful. I try to see the best in people, even though I'm a commentary channel. And I talk about the negatives. Like, I want to give humanity a chance. My whole thing is like, humanity can't be this stupid, right? I think I'm just in denial. I think I'm literally just in denial about humanity, right? Because I just see the worst on the internet, and it's obviously just the worst. Like, the internet is full of the worst fucking people, right? Like, that's just what it is. Normal people are not like this.
Distance myself from it and keep it from, indoctrinating more people.
He even says that video
even if you read it or you say it in a song, Vincent, damn, you're pretty strict on that.
It's meant to be a lesson to the...
We could disagree. You don't have to say... You don't have to agree with it, bro. I just believe it was a good argument.
people who liked content cop.
Like, I really don't care if someone says a slur. If it's within the context of, like, jokes or anything not serious. What the fuck is this? Yeah, that is my flaw. I've let too many people that I thought were good people around me at one point, and a lot of them ended up being fucking crazy. I'm stealing that from you, Shinji. Just posted that.
And for anyone who liked those videos, I want this video to be an example and a lesson for you. You can like content, but you can also think that it's irresponsible and it's hurting other people. Just tap into that part of your brain that's saying, like, it's done a lot of damage. We can just let it go.
So to now frame this as a video that didn't take the fans' feelings into consideration is deceitful. It's very clear that the apology is more focused on sending a message to his audience than making an apology for people like Tana. The reason why they'd bother reframing things like this is because he didn't realize just how bad the response would be to this apology. It went over...
Which is really funny. I still think about this from time to time, right? I just play it safe with how much I tend to annoy people. Don't need that on me too. That's fair. You could do that. Me, I literally am just here to do what I do. And I feel like that's what iDubbbz was doing at the time, and a lot of people still do to this day. But I think about this section of iDubbbz's video, like, often. It, like, lives rent-free in my head. Where he's like, Tana, I'm so sorry that Anisa made me say the N-word to you. And Tana just claps back with, I don't know why the motherfucker's apologizing to me. I actually became a better person because he did that. That, to me, is the funniest part of this entire drama, is that Tana didn't care. Tana didn't care at all.
Like a lead balloon, and he was already on a losing streak, both literally and metaphorically. Right after this apology may have been the height of the hate towards iDubbbz. Moist Critical talked about it and thought Ian was overreacting by issuing an apology at all.
Which is bullshit. I know he walked this back. Another thing, Charlie walked this back too, right? I remember that he walked this back. He's like, oh, I don't remember the exact words, but he walked this one back too. He had a solid argument. I remember that. I remember thinking, damn, Charlie's got a good point here. And then, what was it, like 24 hours later, he's like, I'm sorry. I went too far.
Then Hassan and H3 got involved, making an already controversial moment more heated and prevalent. I don't think they helped iDubbbz at all. I think they made...
iDubbbz and, bro, fucking, anytime Hassan opens his fucking mouth, to yap and weigh in on anything that isn't like communist gobbledygook, just makes it worse.
It matters worse for him. Even though they came to his defense, at that point they were just pouring gas on the fire. Hassan and Ethan Klein are probably the last two people who would be able to change the minds of the people who disliked Ian's apology. Looking back at the public perception of all of this, it makes sense that Ian would want to remember things differently, i.e. delude himself. Speaking of deceit, he says in this video that he endorses the things he said on Padilla's podcast.
If you guys are at all interested in how I've arrived here, that video gives, a good bit of context and talks about some of my life a little bit.
But as we've seen, he recently claimed that he wasn't in the right headspace to be issuing corrections.
And I really wasn't trying too hard to even correct that when it was coming out.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I'm just like, I already felt out of my element, and I was like, oh man, I don't feel like I'm at all ready to be making, or issuing corrections.
So how was he in the right element to renounce a majority of his work and double down on his stance against his old fans for months, yet wasn't responsible or level-headed enough to correct the things he was saying? I guess he could just be admitting that he was being irrational, unhinged, and resentful at the time, but this was supposed to be Ian's most mature and transparent moment, a signal to the fans that they can behave better, just like him. None of this makes any sense. He also talks about his old content as if it were this devastatingly evil act.
I know that this apology is...
Bro, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that keeps saying that he's just like flogging himself like he's Jesus Christ. He's like, I bared the cross of edgy sin on YouTube. I must confess my sins to all of you and be the man, to be better, to show you there's a better way. Like, fuck off. Fuck off.
Isn't enough. I've clearly done a lot of damage. I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it. This is something that I should live the rest of my life with, and I expect to. I've profited off of this bigoted content for years.
He's trying to make his audience understand the gravity of making fun of people on the internet, which comes off as patronizing. There are plenty of people who know how to tease and mock others in a tasteful way, and plenty of people who could benefit from developing those social skills more. Not being able to joke or take a joke can be a problem.
I have always thought that I was an empathetic person. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy, and I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32 I've acquired empathy, and I've realized it.
That is the best, that is the greatest line in human history. It really is. It resonates with the soul. I've acquired empathy at 32. Like it's some kind of buff in World of Warcraft or something. It's like, yeah, I just acquired the buff empathy. I can't take that seriously every time I hear it. Every time I hear it, it just makes me have this like shit-eating grin where I sit back and I was like, how didn't you have empathy in the first place? How do you even develop your life without a form of empathy? Are you just like are you a broken person? Was your life complete shit? Like, I don't understand. I can't understand not having some form of empathy in my life.
Because I just like can't help myself but feel for other people's pain.
32 years old. 32 years old and learning what empathy is. Oh no. Oh god. Well, Shinji, keep like your meme. There you go, Shinji. That's gonna help me get 10 more likes.
And suffering.
Oh, he's gonna be pissed I said that.
Now, and I just want you guys to know that you can unlock
fuck him.
Ability empathy if you experience more life. It might take you getting hurt a little bit, but it's worth it. It is so worth it.
This is like a 5-year-old's idea of empathy. You develop empathy by turning off your inner monologue, listening to others, paying attention to their tone of voice and body language to pick up on emotions they're not explicitly expressing, learning to recognize their patterns of behavior to better understand them. It doesn't come from getting hurt or becoming more sullen. I think Ian confused empathy with resignation and getting out of people's way because he didn't become some symbol of compassion. He simply became less effective as an entertainer. The people who...
Can we talk about when he... Oh! Yes! Oh! We're so close. Chat, we're so close to the MTV decoded shit. Holy fuck! Yes! I love that. I love the MTV decoded part.
he was apologizing to didn't seem to think this was necessary. You know, something that an empathetic and understanding person would have picked up on.
I guess he posted this apology video apologizing for like a bunch of things he did in the past, one of them being the video he made with me or like to me. And I was like, damn, I just never expected that. And I don't know how I feel about it, you know, because like, and I don't know how to say this. I'm not talking about anything in regards of the things he said, but I'm more so just talking about like his actions to me. Like, you know, him showing up to my show, him putting me on blast, him inevitably making me kind of canceled and lose subscribers and have to apologize and all that type of stuff. I kind of think I like deserved that. And maybe that's like dark, like to say, but like, I don't feel like I'm owed an apology.
Tana is doing...
Dude, that's crazy how fucking mature Tana is in this moment. It's just crazy.
Just fine, and so are the other support...
I can't get over that. Tana was more mature than iDubbbz in that moment. And just being like, I don't feel like I deserved an apology. I kind of deserved it at the time to be shit on like that. It taught me a lot. Like, what?
Content cop victims. Ricegum didn't seem to care. I think he has a family and kids now.
iDubbbz apologizes for videos he made when he was 27. Oh yeah, so he made an apology video. He said sorry to like Tana and stuff. I don't know if he said sorry to me though.
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine. But I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way. I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry.
Well, hold on. And what about me?
I'm also sorry to all the...
Like, I love that Ricegum makes everything about himself. It's just a classic gum moment. What about me, bro? What about me, bro?
Black viewers and minority groups who had to put up with that video. And
even the Asian guys, like, why are you talking about other races? Why are you apologizing to other races? What's happening?
I didn't even get an apology, but he gave me a vague apology. He said everyone that I made a vid on, but then he said Tana specifically.
Keemstar didn't seem to care and still has a career in faking drama. Now, Leafy isn't doing too well, but I'm pretty sure that has more to do with stimulant addiction than content cop. I have no...
That is accurate.
No clue how Jinx is doing these days, but the way he made his reaction videos was so lazy that it was basically content theft. The criticism was deserved, as it was for all of these people. Some of them even understand that the criticism was deserved, and none of them seem to be holding on to this in the same way that iDubbbz is. This apology wasn't made to make the subjects of content cop feel better. This was a message to Ian's audience saying, it's not okay to make fun of or criticize people on the internet, and now since I've apologized for the things I've done and said, you have to stop making fun of me and my wife.
A very big thing that has sort of altered my view on all of this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife Anisa has received over the years.
I figure this is as good of a place as any to talk more about the hate towards Anisa. For example, in the Froggy Fresh video iDubbbz made, he mentions the way Sam Hyde insults Anisa.
Anyone who's mentioning the fact that Harley trained with Sam Hyde for the year previous, that was before Sam was saying this about my wife.
I don't think so, Anisa, bitch. Anissa, what an ugly piece of shit. But look how beat she is. Oh, nice jack-o'-lantern teeth. I can't wait to see what she looks like when she's 32. Her teeth look like a pumpkin head. Like, it's the Anissa Joma hole stretcher. I'm sending this to Anissa's OnlyFans. It goes directly to charity. Yeah. Everybody hates him and his wife's...
It is very insulting towards her, yet I can't deny that it's hilarious. It's probably the funniest thing Ian's put on his channel in the last few years. It's easy to get behind the hate towards Anisa.
That's like the worst part, is that he just puts in like Sam Hyde doing bits about his wife, and it just backfires so spectacularly. It's him just saying all the shit that everyone's saying. Of course, the contingent that don't like him are going to resonate with that, especially a video where he's like, oh, making fun of all these people are terrible. I love this.
First video on iDubbbz from over 2 years ago, I said I didn't want to focus on Anisa too much because Ian is his own person who can make his own decisions. I didn't know much about her at the time and wanted to focus on iDubbbz himself, but she started to become more of a part of Ian's career and public image, appearing with him on podcasts, taking more credit for things behind the scenes, attributing his changes to her understanding of the world. The more you see Anisa, the less you can deny that she's been an instrumental part of Ian's downfall. She's an unlikable person trying to make it as an e-celebrity, which is a difficult position to be in.
And I don't like unpredictable people, period. I just don't. I need to be on a leash.
I would get triggered by...
I forgot about that whole thing where she's like, I need to be on a leash. I can't be the one talking about everything. I can't handle this. I was watching that live stream. Holy shit. That was the best moment of my life, is just watching Anisa be like, I need to be held down and duct tape mouth because I say stupid shit all the time.
Any form of abandonment.
Yo, what's good, Sleepy Doo? It's been a while, bro.
Basically, and I would go into 5.
Somebody believes it's a fake article. I can't. No, bro. What's wrong with this piece of shit? It's a joke. I had to clarify it was a joke. I had to. Obviously, I need to make sure that retards don't believe that.
Year-old brain, which for him was horrible. Obviously, that was like a really...
I was always trying to like logic it out, and I'm like, man, what the hell? She isn't listening to my logic and my reason.
Could not get it to work at all.
So again, prove
there's literally nothing wrong with logic and reason.
That I'm actually twisting around what you're saying, and you're not giving examples. You're just claiming that I'm doing this.
I mean, the word fallacy has been brought up a million times.
That's because you've made appeal to popularity fallacies and appeal to nature fallacies. That's why.
But you did finally...
Bro, Vegan Gates mogged her, bro. Like, what? Oh my god. Vegan Gaines has mogged 2 annoying people in the political sphere. One of them was Vosh, and taught them that, you know, you can't use this CP argument anymore, Vosh. It's actually really bad. Vosh is like, you know what? I'll stop making the CP argument. Now, he mogs Anisa. Vegan Gaines W's, bro. Vegan Gaines.
Click when she did explain, like, I was going into 5-year-old mode. I'm like, oh yeah,
that's literally what it was.
If that's what it is, then what am I doing trying to like,
Logic.
you know, give you a list of like things to why it's not a problem or whatever.
I get it. We have different opinions. It's not going to change. Clearly, I'm too stupid to understand what you're saying.
That is literally a 5-year-old's argument. That is so true. It's a 5-year-old's argument. I'm too stupid. You know what? You think I'm too stupid? This argument's going bad, so I'm just stupid. Fine, I'm stupid. I'm a retard. My tits are out. Like... Oh my god, I hate people that do that shit. I hate when people do that shit. I hate it so much. I hate when people are just like, oh, I'm just a big stupid. Yeah, you're right, I'm wrong because I'm dumb, right? And you're just like, no, I didn't call you dumb. And they're like, oh, but you're trying to say that I'm dumb. And you're like, no, I never said that. It's such a manipulative tactic. It's such bullshit.
In my early...
That's like what somebody that's like what your ex-girlfriend in high school would do, or boyfriend in high school would do. You'd be like, well, you're just calling me stupid.
Early relationship with Ian, when something was wrong, his immediate instinct was to find solutions. Like, we can't think about why you're sad or if you're sad or like be in the moment. A lot of men, because they weren't allowed to like sit in their feelings, and they kind of skip over the empathizing with someone. It doesn't matter what I say. You're just going to...
I'm listening. Look, I'm honestly listening to you.
You're honestly not, and that's the biggest lie that you've given this whole...
You're not letting me finish, Vegan Gaines. Oh god. Vegan Gaines, no, why won't you? Are you crazy? This bitch is insane. Who does that? Who does that like mid-debate, you know? Like, not even as like when me and Smaggle did what we just did, that was all just for fucking fun, right? Where I was grabbing my face and be like, what the fuck? That's all like entertainment purpose. I really believe Anisa, when she gets pushback, will grab her temples and just start going, oh, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. I get it. I'm stupid. Like, I feel like that's how she fights. I swear to God, I think that's how she argues with everybody.
I am listening to you.
Fine, we'll get your f***ing girlfriend on here. Do I have enough tattoos? Not yet.
I'm saving most of the Anisa stuff for later, but she does keep coming up more and more as the hate towards iDubbbz escalates. There's not a particular incident that I can point to that's solely responsible for the state of Anisa's reputation, and the same can be said for iDubbbz. The OF thing would have garnered some negative attention on its own, sure, but nothing like the hate they've been getting. It's more than just that, or even Creator Clash 2. It's been a much slower and grading process. About a month or two later, Ian uploaded a video titled The Harsh Reality of Creator Clash 2, publicly declaring the event a financial...
Wait, the tips from Ian literally has investigation homicide on it. How retarded are people? Very, very retarded.
failure. $250,000 short of raising any money for charity. They did do a stream later to help...
Oh no, not the stream! Not the stream, bro. Not the stream. Not the stream. No. No. Not this stream. This stream made it 1,000 times worse. Yes, is it good that he raised the money that they lost? Absolutely. Putting that to charity and correcting that, totally fine. They're failures, utter failures for losing this money. But there's a certain part in this live stream. There's a part in this live stream when Anisa brings up the fact that iDubbbz poops his pants all the time. I didn't need to know that information. Nobody needed to know that information. No, nothing. Nobody needs to know that you poop your pants on a regular basis, Ian, but your wife told everybody. Your wife told everybody on a live stream with thousands watching and hundreds of thousands on Twitter. Oh...
alleviate things, raising around $100,000 for charity and paying for the $250K out of their own pocket. He addresses a rumor that they're pocketing money from the event, which I highly doubt happened. It's
I need... You are not serious? Oh, I'm 100% serious. Hold on, let me find it. iDubbbz IBS clip.
If you can. I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had like IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
I would divorce my wife after that. I would divorce my wife just right then and there. Wouldn't even think about it. It wouldn't even be a situation. I would keep the live stream on and be like, "Yep, I'm divorcing you right now." Like right fucking now, we're divorcing. Like get off the live stream. My lawyer will contact your lawyer. Like, oh my god. Oh man, that's brutal. That's so brutal, bro.
It's far more likely that iDubbbz and Anisa were in over their heads and didn't realize just how much responsibility and volatility comes with running an event.
Yeah, he's just like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And she just doubles down. She's like, no, yeah, you shit yourself all the time.
Like Creator Clash, which is to say their incompetence is to blame. They thought selling as many pay-per-views as the year before was a sure thing.
I foolishly thought that the success of last year should be a minimum, a minimum for what we are able to do this year. We did half as well as we did the first year. 50,000 compared to 100,000 the first year.
Even without some of the oversights and the drama of Creator Clash.
And she said that she was happy to be compared to Yoko Ono /
Yep, I do remember. She said that Yoko Ono was like a strong woman and that people gave her shit for no reason. And bro, Yoko Ono literally auctioned off her own child's letters that no, not her own child, John Lennon's child's letters that John Lennon wrote for his child, and she auctioned it off and had this person pay for them when they are direct blood relation to her husband. And those letters were written for them. And Yoko sold it to them. Yoko Ono's a piece of shit. She ruined the Beatles. Like, how are you proud to be called Yoko Ono? And then every person that mentions the bad shit she did, Anisa says, oh yeah, that's bad, not that part. Like, bro, I know. She said it like 100 times, but it's like really funny that she says that with such conviction. She's like, it's not that bad to be called Yoko Ono. And everyone's like, do you know anything about Yoko Ono? And throw all of it out there. And she goes, oh, well, not that. But, hey, maybe that's why people are saying Yoko Ono's a bad person, Anisa.
2, this is such an unrealistic perspective. There's no such thing as a sure thing in business. The harsh reality of Creator Clash 2 is sort of an end of an era. The amount of videos covering iDubbbz started to decrease substantially, and it was around this time I stopped making videos on him as well. The last video I made talking about iDubbbz at all was when he went on Olay's channel, a highly progressive YouTuber. Francesca Ramsey was in the video too, who was known for her role in MTV Decoded. And
oh god, no, not Francesca Ramsey. Francesca got real mad at me. Real mad at me. Real mad. I think she got mad at me, Chud, Nick, and like a few other people. Because she included my tweet where I was like, iDubbbz doesn't need to apologize to you. They never made a content cop of you. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. I might be misremembering, but I remember saying iDubbbz doesn't need to apologize for the Jinx shit. Like, there's no reason to apologize for it. And she got pissed and thought there was like a contingent of Gamergate going after her again. She had like a fucking mental breakdown on Twitter and blocked me and started bitching behind a block. It was the funniest shit to me.
Infamously condescending show. I'm just gonna play some clips so you get an idea of what that was like.
He put my face in videos and called me, you know,
all of this was wrong. She was just like, yeah, iDubbbz treated me like shit. iDubbbz did this. iDubbbz did that to me. iDubbbz did nothing to her. It was Chris Raygun.
And, you know, said that my work was cancer.
Go look at the privated videos on the videos, every video you did, every content cop on a Jinx, what you did to you, what you did to all them, and what was the revenue on those videos, and pay and cut some checks. Cut some checks.
I don't.
No, you don't. No. Hey, dumb whore from the Surfs, and also your other dumb friend. iDubbbz should not have to cut checks to any of you people. None. Shouldn't have to cut checks to Jinx. Shouldn't have to cut checks to the Fine Bros, to Leafy, to Tana. Nobody. Nobody. You deserve no money. Zero. Nada. Infinitum. Never. I just don't get it. I don't get how you can say that so confidently. Cut some checks. Give us your money. Give me your money. It's like, what the fuck? How do you sit there and say that somebody needs to be paid reparations for a YouTube video? Fuck off.
Have any black friends?
An apology is not enough for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything that he can do that will ever be enough.
Yeah. If we had the ability to cancel you, you wouldn't have been successful in the first place.
So this is...
That is a crazy statement. If we had the ability, you wouldn't even have a career. We are so powerful. Hey, bitch from the Surfs, try that. Try that with anyone else. See how far you get in an interview with them. Try. I dare you to try that with any other channel. Oh, it's the woman that tried to defend. Yep, exactly. It was a leftist mafia. She was a part of the Surfs. Stop, bro. Should you stop? Should you please?
This is the kind of crowd that iDubbbz is trying to get chummy with. People who are infinitely bitter and say that nothing will ever be enough. People who would have happily ended his career if given the opportunity. People who lie about what videos he did or didn't make. People who have no interest whatsoever in his content, his future, or his well-being. These are the people that iDubbbz has...
They just saw him as a white guy trying to apologize and tried to capitalize on that to make it a political issue. That's exactly what it was. They saw a white guy apologizing for something and tried to tack on the fact that the white guy should flog himself to death. That's what it was. That's literally all it was. Don't care if you find that to be potentially racist. That's literally what happened. They were like, you need to pay a black man. You need to pay Jinx reparations because he's black. And everyone's like, what? What are you talking about?
chosen to side with. I welcome opinions about my apology from people in communities whom the apologies were directed at. That is where my care starts and ends. So Ian's disregard for his audience was indeed intentional. It wasn't a mistake or an error in communication like he says on a more recent podcast. He shouldn't be surprised when his fanbase returns an equal lack of care for him or his content. At this point, Ian's reputation as a YouTuber is abysmal. Sure, some people liked the apology, but those were mostly people outside of his initial audience, people who he's failed to attract to his channel, it seems. The content he was putting out after Creator Clash 2 was some of the most boring, hollow, unimpactful content I've seen in my life, and I've watched a lot of bad content. It just feels lifeless.
But something like the bongos, that's just disgusting hard plastic that sounds like, man, I love these bongos. I love music, yes I do. This is really cool. Extremely safe, but they're also extremely boring.
Surprisingly, this was the good content.
God, that content was shit. Chris claimed that you need to be paid reparations by iDubbbz because of his racism towards Italians. If anything, I would owe Keffel's reparations for being Italian racist to another Italian. Of course I posted it, Shinji. You think I'm not going to? Shit's too funny, bro. What is this content? That's what iDubbbz started to do after apologizing to everybody.
He was putting out at the time. He started a second channel called Maximum Damage with another YouTuber, Dax Flame. Although it's been half a year since there's been a Dax upload, so all that's really happening at that channel right now is the iDubbbz Anisa podcast. She Ruined My Career. She Ruined My Career is a weekly podcast where the Jomas talk about, well, practically nothing. Think somewhere between a long, drawn-out conversation with your neighbor and staring at a clock for an hour. It is the antithesis of content.
Oh, I wrote down here, the U.S. simps are coping that they have most medals, but the majority are bronze.
Is that a real thing? Is that happening?
Yeah, I've seen some comments about.
The only people that I can think of who might enjoy this.
What? Hold on, I'm so confused.
Drawn out conversation with your neighbor and staring at a clock for an hour. It is the antithesis of content.
Oh, I wrote down here, the U.S. simps are coping that they have most medals, but the majority are bronze.
Wouldn't you be upset as a country for the Olympics?
He paid reparations by iDubbbz because of his racism towards Italians.
Wait a fucking minute. Like, I'm sorry. Can people not take pride in the fact that our country will take away? We want gold medals. We want to be the best. What's the problem? How is that a simp thing? How is that a U.S. simp thing? All of the countries are proud when they get when they get gold. Everyone gets fucking excited. Like, what? How is that how can you call that a U.S. simp thing? I'm so confused. Did I cover this before? No. I covered certain aspects of this, like the apology to the Surfs lady, the Tana thing. What else did I cover? Him apologizing to everybody, the Froggy Fresh stuff. I covered most of that, but there's certain things I've never seen before.
Is that a real thing? Is that happening?
Yeah, I've seen some comments about.
The only people that I can think of who might enjoy this, unironically, are H3 wine moms, the kind of people who want to feel like they understand internet culture better than they actually do. I don't think iDubbbz has ever had any luck with that demographic, but I'm just guessing. Let's talk about the title of the podcast, She Ruined My Career. It's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek way of owning the haters who think Anisa has played a role in Ian's downfall, but it comes off as petty and desperate. That's not taking into consideration how the show is doing view-wise. It's miserable. Since it began almost a year ago, it's only declined in viewership. The first episode got 60k views over the course of 10 months. During the next 5 or so episodes, the viewership would decline by up to 50% per episode, and they'd struggle to break 10k views from that point on. Episode 40 got less than 1,000 views in 7 hours. It's surreal to see someone with over 7 million subs.
That's crazy, bro. Like, I can't get over that. Like, I really can't get over that. Watch. We talked about it earlier, but I can't get over this, right? My channel has 10k subs, right? I'm nobody special. I'm literally not. I'm just a retard that has a higher number than some other people. That's really it. But when you pass this certain mark, in my opinion, at like the 30k mark, your viewership should not be where my viewership is at. Your viewership should double mine. It should not be on the same level as mine. It should not. Especially with somebody who has a major legacy on YouTube and on top of that has what is it? And has a 7 million sub channel on top of that. Like, this is sad. This is pathetic. Like, you shouldn't be hitting this viewership. This viewership should not exist for a channel like this.
Subs on their main channel struggle to reach a few thousand views on their podcast within a full day. Even though the title is supposed to be facetious, she really has had a...
That's less than Tommy Pre-Lolcow, way post-baited. Yep.
Terrible impact on Ian's career. They wanted to make a fool out of anyone who said Anisa ruined things, only to end up looking foolish themselves. Most of the show can be summed up with 5 different types of moments. Awkward nothings, embarrassment, sometimes to themselves, sometimes to each other, Anisa being quirky for attention, old drama and the haters, and tattoos. You're now up to speed on a vast majority of the podcast. Some clips got picked up by other channels, like the OF shaving thing.
I'm realizing that I'm caring less about body hair, like women with like armpit hair, or
I think that's my fault.
Arm hair.
Like 4 years ago, I just stopped shaving as often, and I think you've just had to get used to it.
No, that's not true.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shave all the time.
No, I only shave when I'm doing OnlyFans.
No, I think your perception of like what is shaven and what is not shaven is different.
Okay.
The sort of thing usually won't gain much traction, but Ian's reputation was still in...
What? No, bro. Take care of yourself, man. Like, groom yourself. Come on. You should not be... No. Clean yourself up. Clean yourself up, you degenerate hippies. You fucking hippies. Take care of yourself. Groom a little. Shave. Like, god damn.
The gutter, so people made videos about it. He was once known for making some of the most loved and respected content on the platform. Now he has a Nothing Burger podcast that gives people a strange look into Ian and Anisa's relationship. Apparently, that's what they were going for.
I guess that's what I've realized I want to get out of the podcast is just people understanding what our dynamic is finally.
Oh, that's true.
That's
a great point.
Your dynamic, bro, the whole point of the podcast is to see our dynamic. That made this way worse. Way worse. That made it 50 times worse. The dynamic is terrible.
Once again, this doesn't make sense. The people who were still on the iDubbbz train at this point weren't interested in learning about their relationship. Just like Ian's apology, she ruined my career, prioritizes proving the haters.
To be honest, this podcast is just... I feel like this podcast is made for people like me. That, like, want overly cringe content to laugh at. I feel like they purposely make this podcast for that reason at this point. Like, they're not doing it for viewership. They're not doing it to own anyone. I think they're doing it because they have a masochistic behavior and they want people to continue making fun of them. I don't think that's that crazy of a theory. I think that they both have a masochistic and humiliation fetish idea of constantly getting berated on the internet now, and they just want a podcast to do it on, and they make it for people like me. And people like you guys who want to watch a complete cringe train wreck. I think that's what they're making it for.
Wrong above all else. The production itself is an issue too. There have been multiple instances where they think they're recording an episode when it turns out they're not, only to redo or scrap the material.
We already recorded this episode, so this is like a re-recording of it.
Yeah.
If that makes any kind of sense.
Well, we forgot to hit the record button. So
Yeah,
we, were
yeah.
just,
We didn't really record it.
Oh, true.
we just thought we did.
it was a podcast for God, for God's eyes only.
Oh my god, yeah.
The main issue with production isn't in the video or audio quality or their set. It's a lack of preparation. They claim to have notes of some kind for most of their shows, but I don't understand how they can do a reasonable amount of prep and have the show turn out so empty.
This is a good way to start because this is going to be my very first podcast without notes, which means...
Really?
You're doing the opposite of what the angry comments want.
Yes. Unprepared, completely.
Yeah, what else is new?
There's a bigger part of that problem, though.
Today, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Oh, because we're going to Canada.
And I'm wearing the same thing from last episode because we filmed these 20 minutes apart.
Fuck up, Dane. No one would know unless you fucking said that shit.
Well, I'm wearing the same pants and socks.
If you didn't quite catch that, Dane was basically saying that they record the podcasts in batches. I'm not sure how often they do this, but it would explain a lot. I think the reason why iDubbbz puts any time...
Why would you ever record a podcast in batches? Why would you, like, ever do that? Like, what? Why? It's a podcast. You're supposed to sit down, talk, podcast over. Why is it recorded in batches? That doesn't make any sense to me. Does any radio show do that? No. I don't think I've ever heard a podcast do that. Does Joe Rogan, like, get guest after guest after guest after guest in one day and then record each interaction with each guest at the end of every episode? Like, I don't think I've ever heard of a podcast doing that. Am I crazy? I don't think I've ever heard that before. I don't. Why would they upload that section?
Time into half-assing the second channel at all is because it allows him to avoid the much bigger task of getting his main channel back off the ground. Because he's made this wrong connection between him being critical and edgy and people hating his wife, his creativity has been stifled. He'd rather spend time distracting himself with side projects than undergo the task of fixing his career.
Like, this is, I think what frustrates me about it is, like, it's all, like, good advice if...
You cared.
Well, basically. No, it's like in a vacuum, it's good advice, right?
He also said that
the reflection was there because I didn't care about it.
Yeah, we do this. This is supposed to be just a casual.
This is the low effort
This
thing.
is the low effort casual thing. Most people don't give a
low effort casual thing. Interesting that they're calling it that. Hold on. That's interesting. Yeah, chef.
What do you think someone on...
What is it, Bubba? Low effort casual thing. Upgrading my keychain build. ChrisTheNarc, the worst content iDubbbz complains video I've ever seen in my entire life. Let me see here. Complaining about strip malls. Waffle House. I turned mango seeds into something wonderful. I should be able to flush paper towels. Ranking playground equipment. Ants on a log. And this is... Everything's low effort. Like, I won't say I'm doing anything high effort. I'm just sitting here chatting shit, right? I won't even say remotely close to what I do is high effort. But, like... It's interesting that they're putting this on the pedestal of high effort content. Very interesting.
Shit.
If the low effort thing isn't getting views, is bad for your image, and is causing you stress, then stop doing it and focus on something that is worth your full attention. The entertainment industry is more competitive and oversaturated than ever. If someone like iDubbbz makes a podcast, people expect some level of care, effort, coordination, an idea or premise that goes beyond, let's send a message to the haters. Not trying is the flimsiest excuse they could have possibly come up with. Yeah, it's supposed to suck. It's not supposed to be respected or successful. Okay, Jomas, sure.
If someone is like criticizing me for something I consider to be like pretty mundane and like not worth, not that big of a deal, like I take that very like personally, and I don't.
That's so pathetic. I can't get over that. If they just say something mundane to me and I don't like that, I take it personally. How and why? What's the point? If one of my chatters calls me fucking retarded, I'm not going to think about it for like multiple hours. I'm just going to go lol and move. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how do you let such mundane shit get to you? I take that How do you take that personally? Guys, this show's really boring. I've been personally attacked. I can't understand that to save my life.
Don't see it just as like a bit of criticism or a bit of advice. I don't want to navigate this middle ground area where I have to use my own like judgment on a case-by-case basis of like what is worth it for me.
Ian is going to have to get past that one way or another. The more personally he takes these small remarks, the worse things are going to get. Any content creator should approach comments and criticism the same way they would look at bad weather. Acknowledge it, but don't take it personally. I know there are other clips to compare and laugh at from their podcast, although they probably wouldn't tell us much about what iDubbbz has done to ruin his career. The entire premise of the podcast and how unengaging it is are the main issues here. There are no redeeming qualities whatsoever, and to go through how bad each and every episode...
Okay, I don't really want to go over the ChrisTheNarc stuff. I already went over this in particular, and to be honest, that to me is just gonna suck ass. Basically, he's just like, oh, ChrisTheNarc calls people lazy bones, and that's really rude. Like, that is literally the whole premise of the ChrisTheNarc video, bro. No offense, Glitch. I already went over that stuff. Everything else I need a reminder on. This, I kind of remember like the back of my hand. I want to see this. I want to see this part.
Along with She Ruined My Career, they have a Patreon exclusive podcast called The Bog. In the 15th episode, they talk a lot about Creator Clash, Sam Hyde, and some other old drama. Other
Yes! This is where we get mentioned.
YouTubers started to catch wind of it and made some videos about it. I've already played quite a few clips from this, but I want to play one over again to make another point. It's about Creator Clash 2.
We couldn't even pay back what we had like put on the table to put on the event.
Yeah.
Like, was such a emotional gut punch that I feel like I'm never going to...
I see two people who can't help but dwell on the past. They've been holding on to all of the negative things surrounding them over the last few years with the hopes that a free win is right around the corner. The only realistic option they have is to let it go. No amount of complaining or...
Yeah, Beazle is goated for just clipping this shit.
...or revision is going to sway public opinion in their favor. Relentless defiance towards their old audience is only...
Oh, no, what happened? Did my stream just die? Uh-oh. 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 What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's back. Refresh. We still good? We still good? Now we're seeing another video to maintain smooth streaming. Okay, we're back. It fixes itself in a few seconds. Okay. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Cool, 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 cool.
digging their grave faster. Here's another clip which I think is telling.
And they think that this again is me like pushing, but this wasn't even my idea. I've tried to quit it. Honestly, I've tried to quit this podcast 4 times, and Ian keeps going no. Which I'm thankful. I'm glad that you're not letting me quit it. I think that it's.
Why the hell would you not want to quit it at this point, Anisa? Seriously, why wouldn't you want to quit it? Why continue on? You just keep getting you yourself are one of the main reasons why you guys keep getting shit all the time. Why the hell would you want to keep doing that?
But I want it makes me so mad that people think that this is me. Like, I'm like, oh, I need to be in everything all the time. I don't.
No.
Anisa tried to quit the podcast 4 times. If that's really the case, Ian might be keeping her there just to try and prove the haters wrong. Look, you can't quit. If you quit now, people will continue to see me as incompetent and aimless, and they'll keep doubting the strength of our relationship. If you quit now, the years we spent trying to prove the haters wrong will be for nothing.
That would actually be hilarious if that was the actual conversation that Ian was having with Anisa. He's like, you can't quit. You can't quit. Nicholas Diorio's going to make a live stream. You can't quit. Boblax is going to laugh at us. You can't quit. You can't quit. Chris will laugh at us. Keemstar. Everybody. All commentary channels. Sensitive Society. And Cheeto. Turkey Tom. They'll all laugh at us. You can't quit the podcast. No. Sam Hyde will make jokes. I love it.
Be wrong, but it fits perfectly. Why else would they keep doing something that neither of them care about? Because they're too dug in to dare change course. A sort of sunk cost fallacy, if you will. Next, we have Anisa's meltdown on Twitch. She's probably had some other...
Oh, this is a Kino moment in life. This is Kino as fuck. This is Kino content. Kino content.
Incidents like this one on stream, but similar to that episode of The Bog, this is something that a good chunk of YouTubers wound up talking about. With good reason, too.
Commentary YouTubers have no idea what it is to work a normal job.
You're a whore on the internet. You're a whore and a Twitch streamer on the internet. I've worked normal jobs. I've done all those things. I started doing YouTube at 27, bro. Like, interesting. Commentary YouTubers have never had a job. Now, is that for a lot of them? Yeah, but not all of them. You can't lump us all into the same kind of conversation here. Interesting that you, a whore, are trying to tell everyone else that nobody's had a job before. Interesting.
Let alone put on a whole event, okay? You have no clue. You don't even know what it's like to clock in and have someone breathe down your neck. I know a lot of them have never worked a real job. I know that for a fact. And if you have...
I know that for a fact is a crazy statement. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Xylee, you've never worked a job in your life. I've never worked a job. Nick's never worked a job. Augie, Tom. Well, Tom probably. I'm gonna be honest. Tom just is a YouTuber. But like, you get the point. The majority of people that do YouTube as a gig on the side have a job. The majority of them. The ones that are lucky can do it full time. Yeah. And on top of that, a whore. A whore is telling me that, telling me and all other creators that do a job and do commentary have never worked a real job before. Okay. Yeah, Keem's also worked real jobs before. Except for that one where he totally lied to that law firm and provided fake documentation to get a job. I don't know how he wasn't arrested for that like 20 years ago.
You worked there for a week and you cried and you quit.
Even in the most understandable circumstances, this is a pretty cliche remark. When someone like Anisa says it, it's laughably embarrassing. Being a successful YouTuber is less labor-intensive and a lot more appealing than most jobs. However, it still takes some combination of effort, know-how, charisma, awareness, creativity, consistency, or thick skin, depending on what kind of content you're making. So when Anisa complains about commentary YouTubers not knowing what it's like to work a real job, she fails to realize that she's currently making much lazier and thoughtless content than the people she's going off on. Plus, something tells me that Anisa would have panic attack after panic attack if she had to work in customer service these days.
I would rather die than phone someone.
She also went in on Rusty Cage, a YouTuber known for music.
Poor Rusty! R.I.P. Rusty Cage. He died too young.
Knives and a lemonade stand. Here, Anisa is talking about an incident with him at Creator Clash 2.
I know that you would f***ing cry if I said something to you in real life. I know you would cry. How do I know? Because I've done it to one of you fuckers in real life, and you have cried. You cried?
Yeah, but that was Rusty Cage. Rusty Cage isn't a commentary YouTuber. Like, at all. Like on any level. Rusty is not a commentary YouTuber. Look at all this. Sardine soda, knives, music, building a fucking guillotine. Like, where is the commentary? How to lose subscribers #2, the dick system. Like, killing Hillary. Like, I don't get how this dude is a commentary YouTuber. No, Rusty Cage died. Business. He's been dead for months. Hello. What is it? What is it? Stop yelling, okay? I'm almost done.
You didn't apologize to me, and you even said that I made you...
I'm telling everyone Rusty's dead for fun. Shut up.
like a bitch. He was not supposed to get in. The reason why he got in was because he happened to say, by accident, Justin said I could get in. They gave him a wristband, so he got in. There was like a Free Froggy Fresh sign that like made it to the front of the walkout of Ian's walkout, and he like tweeted the picture. No, it wasn't Brandon Buckingham. It was fucking, I always call him Rusty Spoon, but I think his name's Rusty Cage.
At the beginning of the video, Emp Lemon and I had made pro Froggy Fresh signs, one of which made its way down to the
Emp Lemon and Brandon Buckingham goated for that.
floor of the Creator Clash Arena. YouTuber Rusty Cage took a photo of the signs and posted it to Twitter with the caption, "Uh-oh," and was subsequently confronted by Anisa. Let's hear that story from him.
I paid money, I'm on the floor seats, and I see like some shenanigans going down. I take a photo of it. It's just people holding up a sign. It said Froggy did nothing wrong. Like
seemingly innocuous.
Yeah, right. I go to this like after event, and Anisa comes up to me. She comes up and says, "That tweet was really not cool," and I just apologize. I felt kind of like a bitch. I was like, "Why the fuck did I apologize? What am I apologizing for? I don't even know this person." That's really not cool. Honestly, Anisa, it was very cool.
He snuck into
Based Rusty doubling down. I kind of weak that you said sorry to her in the moment. Okay. Rusty, yeah, but he wouldn't. Would you ever call Rusty Cage a commentary channel though? Like, sure, he might have engaged in commentary-based content on a podcast, but I wouldn't call it commentary. I wouldn't say that he's like a drama YouTuber or anything like that. He doesn't make his well-known content be that, you know?
To the party. So Ian wasn't around, much like right now, which is why I'm doing this right now. Ian wasn't around. He was somewhere else. And I saw that fucker. I saw him waiting in line for free alcohol, and I was like, absolutely not. I just put my hand on his shoulder, right? I leaned over, and I said, "Hey man, what you did yesterday, really fucking uncool, actually."
Posted a photo, you manic bitch. He posted a photo. Like, he posted a photo. Like, people post photos of people at WWE events saying, "DSP, pay your taxes." Is that evil? No, I know Nixon's. I'm just saying, it's just, I wouldn't call it that. But, like, bro, like, it's a photo. Chef, stop trying to open the door. It's a photo. And she's like, I made him cry in front of me and apologize.
He was like, like, he was shocked. And it clearly, it clearly got to him, because he ended up in, like, some interview later saying that it made him feel like a bitch. Why would you admit that?
You might realize this doesn't line up too well with the new, wholesome, empathetic direction of the iDubbbz brand and Maximum Damage channel. When Anisa talks about the way she confronted Rusty Cage, she looks very satisfied with herself. Strange that this is the kind of moment that she cherishes and relishes in.
So Ian wasn't around, much like right now, which is why I'm doing this right now. This is the truth, okay? Ian keeps me on a leash, okay? And I'm okay with that, because I need to be on a leash.
It probably...
I need to be on a leash is crazy. Aren't you like a hardcore feminist? You need a man to hold you back? Damn, girl. You a weak woman.
Probably doesn't make Ian's job of reviving his career any easier when he's also on Anisa patrol and containment. Imagine having to worry about your public image every time you go out of town because your wife might start acting unhinged on the internet or start spilling tea related to your career.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. I thought going to therapy would actually make me want to get off the internet. Like, I thought, like, I would go to therapy and I'd be like, oh, of course, like, I need to get off the internet. But for some reason, like, therapy has made me want to, like, come back to the internet. I love doing this. I love talking. I love riffing. I love entertaining. I loved who I was.
What is your entertainment value? Genuinely, what is your entertainment value? You debated people as a titty streamer. Yeah, you really made a huge impact on the world. Again, not saying I am, but let's just be real here. Let's just be real here. What has Anisa done that is significantly impactful to the entertainment space? Creator Clash 1. That's it. And that was off of the back of her husband, who made an entire career that he now regrets. So, what did she do? What did she herself do? Nothing. She was a titty streamer.
Career-wise, before I stepped foot into the iDubbbz community, I loved that. I was so happy in that aspect of my life, in my career.
You were happy about the Holocaust clip?
And I gave it up because I thought at the time that that was the right thing to do. I thought that it would stop people from, like, obsessively, I don't know. I thought it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's weird. Going back to therapy has made me realize how much I don't want to like let that go.
There's some animosity between iDubbbz and Anisa regarding their career paths. They have significant creative differences which are bleeding through now that they're making a lot more content together. Instead of trying to keep their images separate, they tried to merge them into this gray, flavorless paste. It would be wise for them to try and separate their brands and careers from each other's, and it would probably do wonders for their self-esteem. The issue is that they've made the names iDubbbz and Anisa intertwined. It would take a lot of effort and ingenuity to successfully distance their content from one.
I don't even think it's possible at this point. Like, I get he's trying to be charitable in that aspect. If they did diversify from each other and they both did the content that they, you know, without each other, it might be better. But I don't believe at this point that they could even do that. Even if they have, like, a stellar moment, like a genius, but, like, they nail it on the first try, there's still going to be a lot of people that just see Ian now as beholden to Anisa. It's not going to change anything.
Another. But guess what? If you took Anisa seriously on any of that, congratulations, you just got pranked. It was an elaborate ruse, you fool. Or at least this is what she tries to claim on the following episode of She Ruined My Career.
So for those of you who don't know, I started streaming again. So when I was a popular streamer, and I guarantee you all popular streamers do this, you have to like tap into your lizard brain a bit. And when you have a thought or a feeling, no matter how like dumb, like the second thought that happens, you have to ignore it no matter what it is. Like, is it good? Is it bad? Doesn't really matter. You have to go with the first like lizard brain thought, and then you got to like amp it up. I feel like giving a little rant. And I knew that if anyone was going to like clip and share it, it would be the like, no offense, commentary community, but the bottom of the barrel commentary community, the ones that like won't even show their face and shit, and are like playing Subway Surfers or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Hey, retards, we're all right here. I show my face. Diorio's shown his face. Xylee showed her face. Diesel's done it. Brandon Buckingham's done it. Tom's done it. Keepstar's done it. I think Optimus is the only one that doesn't show his face out of the group. Chud shows his face. Who else? Achito shows his face. I think Sensitive Society is the only one that doesn't show his face. Pyro shows his face, but Pyro's weird. He doesn't count. But like that's an example. Clown showed his face before. Tommy shows his face. Connor showed his face before. Like, it's such a stupid fucking argument. And yeah, she was pissed off about Connor. It was 100% about Connor.
And so I was
I don't know if they play Subway Surfers.
What's the one with the knife?
Oh, so they surf.
They surf.
Surfing. Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, Counter-Strike surfing, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. But, and so I was specifically talking about them and going on like a little like fun little rant, because back in the day when, you know, that you want to get clipped, you want to get shared. Negative, positive, more often negative clips are getting shared. I just wanted to see if I could still do it. I want to like be able to give into those things because...
Oh, so you want to start trolling people like Sam Hyde. Got it. So Anisa wants to be Sam Hyde. That's where my logic's going. Anisa wants to do what Sam Hyde does. Say outlandish things to get people to pay attention and get upset about it. Did I just crack the code, chat? Did I just crack the code? Does Anisa actually want to be Sam Hyde? Ironic! Ironic. They hate Sam Hyde so much, but she wants to be Sam Hyde. That's crazy. It's crazy, guys. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
I think that's what like makes a good streamer.
That makes no sense. The story she told about Rusty Cage was real, her hatred towards commentary YouTubers is real, she does seem like the type who needs to be on a leash, and what she said about her streaming career came off as genuine, even though she kind of cut herself off. Furthermore, this explanation does nothing to convince people that Anisa isn't a manipulative or spiteful person. In fact, she's admitting to manipulation and bragging about it.
It feels good to know that like at least I have that type of staying power, but it is...
It's not staying power, it's just you being a manic and all of us laughing at how fucking ridiculous you are. I don't know how that's like a good thing. Like, I don't know how that's a good thing. I don't know how you take pride in something like that. Like, just being a complete and utter fucking piece of garbage. Like, just proving to everyone that you're just somebody that would lie.
Interesting. I really did. It's kind of like when you go fishing and you go to a new lake and you're like, I'm just going to like throw out like, I don't know.
A new lake? Dude, you and your husband have been around commentary forever. Stop pretending that you weren't hanging out with all of us.
grasshopper that I found on the ground and just a big old trout.
I think this is their biggest problem overall. If iDubbbz now holds himself to this impossible standard of always worrying about any negative impact his content may have, and both he and Anisa agree that that's the right thing to do, why doesn't Anisa concern herself with the impact of her content? Why does iDubbbz cheer on her hostile, provocative, and deceptive behavior?
And it has like the caption, iDubbbz wife or girlfriend, whatever it said, rages against the... Triggered. Yeah, right. They used the word triggered against the commentary community. It really made you look, in my opinion, like very confident and very with it and real. I was like...
Did we watch the same... Did we watch the same clip, iDubbbz? She looked like a manic. She looked insane. And then said that she made Rusty Cage cry. Like, how is that a form of confidence? Oh God, I love these people. Dude, I've been doing 4 hours of just this one video. I love this video so fucking much. It gets everything. It gets everything that I want to see. Every stupid thing that they've ever said in the best way possible. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I scurried upstairs. I had like read some of the comments and I was like, this shit's awesome. And once I saw the full thing, I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
But she's doing the thing that iDubbbz hates Sam Hyde for. She's as
Whoa! I didn't even... Bro! Wait a minute. I didn't even watch this video, and I came to the same conclusion that Glitch Poachers did. Fuck. It's just obvious. It's obvious that she's doing what Sam Hyde does. And iDubbbz hates Sam Hyde for it, but is okay with his wife doing it. Hypocrisy, children. It's very easy.
Ian would say irony poisoning, blurring the line between sincerity and irony by saying that her meltdown was meant to be a stunt of sorts. She's using other people for content, hoping that they'll fall for the trap of taking her rant seriously and make themselves look stupid in the process. I don't believe that was truly her intent. I think she was desperately trying to dismiss her own lunacy as cunning, but that's how she's characterizing herself, and that's the behavior iDubbbz is encouraging. Anisa is desperately seeking attention, and she's willing to settle for negative attention because it's easier to act like a quirky, unlikable spaz than it is to be a charismatic entertainer. It makes sense that the label Puppet Master stuck to both iDubbbz and Anisa. I'm not sure if they realize just how much mental gymnastics it's been taking to continue to see themselves as blameless. Out of the blue, Dane has this realization about their career paths.
I just had a realization. Can I just interject real quick with a realization I had? Because you just talked at length about your journey of like ditching the iDubbbz character and becoming more Ian, and people kind of being taken aback by that and reacting to it and being like, this is weird, I don't like this. Anisa is having like the opposite experience. She's like been acting normal for so long that when she tapped in...
Acting normal?
into her Rainbow Kids alter ego, everybody was like taken aback by it and be like, what's going on? She's freaking out. They're not familiar with the lore. I just think it's interesting that you two are having like...
No, we're incredibly familiar with the lore. Everyone who knows Anisa is severely familiar with the lore. Unfortunately, we are familiar with the lore. And... Oh, and them going down these two divergent paths. She's trying to be fake. He's trying to be more himself. Oh. They are never going to be on the same page. They never will. The two of them will never be on the same page. Ian and Anisa will forever be on different pages when it comes to content creation in general.
Opposite experiences where like you're trying out either an authentic or inauthentic thing and people are reacting negatively to it.
That's so interesting of you to say because that's true.
While I don't agree that Anisa has been normal for so long, what Dane said is insightful. Ian's going down one path where any and all provocation or risk is to be avoided like the plague. Anisa, on the other hand, is ramping up the performative, misleading, clout-hungry side of her. They're both going in opposite, incompatible, dead-end directions. iDubbbz is in a strange position.
Divorce, 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 divorce. It's gonna happen. Sorry, Ian. Sorry. But you're going to have a divorce. Give it another year, bro. Like, if she is already starting to drag you down to this bullshit level and being completely divergent, so you want to be more Ian, she wants to be more provocative and be like Sam Hyde, that's not going to meld together very well on a content creation level. Now, hopefully you can detach the content creation level and still be a couple. But the problem is, and this is where the issue lies, okay? This is where the main issue lies. They take the internet as their real lives. They do. It's blatantly obvious. So since she's going in a different direction and he is going in a different direction of how they adapt their content, that also means that their potential relationship are going to divert in opposite directions as well. Because Ian doesn't want to deal with that anymore, and Anisa wants to keep dealing with it and wants to change into that. So... you guys better have a great couples counselor, bro. You guys better have the best goddamn couples counselor in the world.
where it wasn't a single event or action that got him canceled or made people turn on him. It's been a years-long process of being defiant towards his fanbase to make some kind of moral point, only for his wife to come to the complete opposite conclusion about her online presence. He attributes the hate Anisa gets to his older, edgier content when she's the reason why she gets hate. They usually dismiss criticism through strawman arguments or insults, only annoying the public further. There used to be some level of mystery behind who iDubbbz was. Now he's desperately trying to convince people that his life and relationship are normal by making a podcast called She Ruined My Career. They want to have more control over their image than they do, and the way they go about addressing things usually makes their situation worse. They refuse to let the chips fall where they may, making a pathetic spectacle of themselves instead. Ian's career is not beyond saving, although if he truly was capable of doing so, something tells me he would have started to turn things around by now. The future of iDubbbz is as murky as it gets. I'm aware of the ways social media influences us.
All right, I feel like we got where we needed to be. The rest of it's advice. I bet it's fantastic advice. Dude's been hitting it nail on the head this entire time. Holy shit. You found Tipster's secret dating profile. Yeah, I have been aware of that. Yeah, I've been aware of that. Oh, what the fuck? No. Tipster, I am sexy. Fontana. No, everyone knows that. That's definitely not the location. I'm still a member of Friend Finder. 36 female lolicon land. Fuck talking, let's have sex. That's all I do. No more than that. You know you want it, bruh. Holy shit. That's incredible. Yeah, I know Augie covered Tipster's actual secret thing, but that was Shinji making a meme. I thought I was looking at the real one for a second, and then I read the just fuck me part, and I love that so much. That's not a real one. You can tell it's a fucking joke. It said from Lolicon Land, for God's sakes. Cats are flocking. Oh God, how long have we been going on the iDubbbz stuff? Shit, almost 4 hours. Dude, I react hard. I do an additional 2 hours on an hour fucking video. Jesus. Oh my God. Oh God. Is there anything else? No, I don't think there is anything else I could think of right now. Let me think here, because I did want to keep streaming for a bit longer, but I did not eat anything today. I'm kind of running on fumes. I'm gonna eat something. All right. I think I'm gonna end it off here. I want to say thank you to everybody that donated so far, and shout out to the people for the memberships as well. You guys have no idea how important that is. It's amazing. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to send you guys over to Diesel's channel. Diesel's currently fighting with a retard, so I'm going to send you over to Diesel's channel. Tell him I said hi, all right? Thank you guys so much for watching. Genuinely appreciate all your generous donations. Appreciate everything you guys do. You guys keep this channel alive. New clip tomorrow involving the Alec Gunter drama and maybe some more ones. And then hopefully I'll be live on Friday, maybe tomorrow, if things are less crazy. See you guys. I'm going to send you over to Diesel, all right?
Process, but as it turns out, they wanted to go after me. They wanted to go talk